Welcome everybody to our latest session of the Rise of Tiamat. As usual, we'll do a quick recap of what occurred last session, and then we will jump into the current session. So team, you'll likely recall when we picked up last week, you guys had wrapped up the events over in the Sea of the Moving Ice, having laid the smackdown on the dragon out there, and then quickly made your way back. Coming over the sea, you guys had a lot of quote-unquote downtime as you're just traveling on this vessel, getting through all of the Sea of Moving Ice, these big chunks of ice and things, getting through all of that, and then essentially following the coast, the Sword Coast, south, making your way back towards to Waterdeep, where you know the council was meeting. During this travel, you guys did have at least one interesting encounter where it seemed as though the ship was slowing down significantly and not making very much progress at all. Eventually, the crew and our player characters noticed that there was a being underneath the water that was holding its hand against the bow of the ship, slowing it down. With this noticed and the crew members sort of looking over and being shocked, this being raised its head above the water and spoke with our team here, our crew of the ship, and you guys were able to get some details. You were able to get a name of this individual. You weren't sure exactly what species this individual was or anything about their background. They were very, very large, apparently some kind of giant. They came out of the water, actually boarded the ship, and for their massive size did not seem to be super heavy, as the ship didn't suddenly start moving really hard one way or the other. This individual was sort of walking around, asking some basic questions, but overall you got the impression of an individual almost as just kind of bored of this area. Didn't seem to be in any concern about your team or any danger perhaps posed to the individual, so was very much at ease moving about the vessel. After some brief conversations, including this individual asking some of the crew and some of the player characters to head down below and actually oar, because they originally tried to throw some wind into the sails but did too much and snapped those sails, sending the cloth out into the waters themselves. Some of you guys agreed to head down and try to oar. Maybe some were more interested in that or less in doing so. And eventually, after a period of time, it seemed as though the giant board of the ship and its very slow speed and simply just started ascending through the air and able to fly very much with ease. Once it floated up and got out of line of sight more towards the clouds, everybody sort of took a sigh of relief and then did the best they could, oaring the rest of the way back to Waterdeep over several more days. So after this very odd encounter, you guys talked amongst yourselves, seeing if anybody was familiar with this. Did anybody have any additional information, anything like that? But there was not too much additional learned, again, other than this was clearly some kind of a giant. Once you guys arrived back into the city of Waterdeep, some of the individuals that were on the vessel, the crew, the captain, also there was Misty, who you guys had brought back with you, as well as Makath, the tiefling, who had come back as well. Makath explained that she would give a report to the council members and she would check in with the embassy for the Arcane Brotherhood here in Waterdeep and would send her report on so that all the information would be to the council as needed. You guys decided to spend some time checking out the shops and getting some items identified, doing some selling. You guys also searched around looking for perhaps magic items that might be able to help the team. You discovered that some of the items that you had found in Orathator's treasure hoard, buried deep in the ice, were actually quite potent magic items. You guys decided to use some of them, sell some of the other ones, and sell some of the art objects and other things that you had discovered, and spent again a bit of time doing some shopping. Some characters got some new items, some tattoos, some magical tattoos, and did again some last minute details. Didn't find everything that you wanted, but found enough. Once that was complete, you guys made your way over to the council chambers and spoke with Dala, who was your contact for the council. Dala explained to you that the council would be getting information about your progress, and that she basically presented two options to you. The first was she could introduce you to the council proper and indicated that the council would likely deputize you, making you official agents of the council. She explained that this would grant you some authority in the Sword Coast region to, essentially claim the deputy's badge of the council members, and that might open some doors and so forth, but it would make your names very much known, and there'd be no hiding who you are or what your purpose is, because everybody, the idea of this Cult of the Dragon and the the conflict that is occurring right now between the Sword Coast cities and the Cult of the Dragon is becoming more known, as it's becoming more, people are becoming more aware of it. And if your names are out there as being deputies, it'd be much harder to sort of go under the radar. So this option was presented to you all, and as a team, you guys decided to stay under the radar. So Dala said she thought that was a smart idea. She said that you would trust her, and she would try to do what she could to earn your trust and be as transparent as possible with you on any activities that the council makes her aware of. And so she indicated that she would be your sort of go-between between the council, and if any questions were asked about you individuals, she would do the best she could to obscure your exact identities and what exactly you're doing. There was also a bit of information learned, so the next sort of leg of what the council wants completed is there is an individual, a worm speaker, and there is a worm speaker for each of the colors of the Cult of the Dragon, or chromatic dragons. And the white worm speaker, there was some intel that was obtained by the Harpers explaining where this individual was. They sort of were spotted in a particular area, and there were some additional details learned. Essentially, Dala wanted you to go find this worm speaker and see if you couldn't take possession of them and bring them back. They would be a great resource as far as intelligence goes if you could actually take them prisoner, bring them back to Waterdeep. They'd be imprisoned, obviously, interrogated. A lot of information could potentially be learned from this individual. Some questions your team asked was, how much time do you have, and some more strategic or tactical questions. And Dala presented you with another dilemma, which is she can tell you some additional information, but if she does, that means you know it, which means any kind of, there's a lot of magic in this world, and you guys obviously are familiar with some of this. Any kind of mind reading or telepathy or any kind of spell that would cause you to lose control of yourself, and somebody could then ask you questions and say, why are you here? What are you doing? Obviously, if you know the exact intel that behind these decisions, you could become targets for having that information taken out of your minds. So the question was leveled towards you. Do you want to know some of the background details, some of the more sensitive information? Most of you agreed you did not. However, Rasmus said he thought it was important that he knew because he thought it would help in his decision making. So your team eventually agreed that was fine. So the rest of the team exited, and then Dala and Rasmus communicated, and she provided him with some additional background details about this specific mission. And Rasmus then came out of that room shortly thereafter and basically said to the group, okay, I think we have a bit of leeway as far as our timeline goes here. We don't need to be in a super rush. So you guys were discussing some different plans about how to get to where you needed to go, which is the Boriskar Bridge, and how quickly you needed to get there. So quickly plotting it out, you guys realize it's approximately a 30-day trip over land to get to the Boriskar Bridge. And then whatever you find there, who knows where you'll have to go from there. Presumably this worm speaker isn't just sitting there for 30 days while you guys come towards it. So it might be somewhere, he might go somewhere else beyond that, but tracking him down from that point would be your best lead. So I know that Spectre indicated she was going to call upon some of her contacts and see if she couldn't find a caravan, or at least some horses and a driver that would make as good of speed as possible, not do a bunch of stops for mercantile interests and so forth, to get down to Boriskar Bridge. And I believe that is what the last plan you guys ended off on. So yeah, that is the quick recap, guys. Is there anything I missed that anybody would like to add?
I just want to add some details about Verum real quick, and then also we did learn about the leader of, they assume that the red dragon mask holder is the leader, and their name is Severin. And what we learned about Verum was he's a dwarf, and he's a gold dwarf specifically, bald, thick round beard, dark eyes, bushy eyebrows. So we have a description to go on, and we know who he reports to, so to speak.
Yes, indeed. Yep, good additional details there. Go ahead and take inspiration for that, Rasmus. So, yes, the white worm speaker is indeed Verum, the gold dwarf, and yeah, details as far as tracking him down and know what he looks like are pretty prominent in your mind after you guys asked those specific questions, and Dala was able to provide you that level of detail. So, yeah, great addition. Anything else anybody like to add? Okay, hearing nothing else, then we will assume we are good to go. So, guys, it is early morning in the city of Waterdeep. You guys have rest overnight. Everybody leveled up, currently level 9. So we'll start our session proper in the city of Waterdeep. So you guys have done quite a bit of shopping recently. I believe you have everything that you need. However, I would throw one quick note out there. Knowing your travel times, 30 days to the Borscar Bridge, you'll want to make sure, like water and food, you have that thought of. Obviously, it's not completely desolate between Waterdeep and there. There's certainly areas that you could stop and find food and water, of course. But if for some reason you got caught in a jam or caught between, hamlets or villages or something along those lines, you're definitely going to have enough supplies to last you for a while.
Did we decide to take a wagon or anything, guys?
I think we were thinking like it was an enclosed, what was it, carriage or whatever?
So Spectre indicated that she would use some of her contacts to find a means of travel that is quickest. I would say based on it was not like a overly rare request. So I would say you have a rough, can kind of name your basic modes of travel. So if you guys want like a covered wagon, I would say with Spectre's contacts, you could easily find that.
Probably wise.
I'm thinking we could have like a barrel of water, and in another barrel of water where we can keep some live fish. For food.
Yes, but where do we find the fish, Cartoon?
At the fish market. I'm sure they got some small ones for us. I'm just guessing.
Asmus, I don't know if you've noticed this, but we're in Waterdeep. It's on the water. There's
No,
fish
I
on
got that, guys, but you want live fish, so...
Well, yeah, but, like big giant bait fish, they'll just get bigger while they're in the barrel.
I don't know. What if we just go with like some salted meats, like some jerky, and maybe get some fruit?
I'm not saying no to that. I'm just throwing out some better ideas.
I'm all for disappointing her too.
Sorry, guys. Got to roleplay Kurtu,
Yeah, we can get a wagon. We can get one sizable enough to carry some provisions and supplies for a week, maybe more. Not a big deal.
Yeah, and can you remind me again? I'm not at my home computer. What would fresh rations and everything cost just to have so?
Yes, I can definitely look that up. I think rations are fairly cheap. Water skins, I remember, hold, I forget the exact amount, but I think you can drink twice on a water skin per day. But yeah, let me look up the cost for rations.
Yeah, water skin is 4 pints of liquid. This is PHB 153. Barrel is 40 gallons. What's up with that? That's good.
Yep, and if you're using a carriage or a caravan of some kind, you could certainly do that. Obviously, keeping in mind that once you get to your location and that carriage then moves on, then you have a barrel to contend with as far as its weight and all that.
It'll be a barrel of fun. Wait, laughs. Dang it!
Sure, I am say monkeys.
I'm trying to learn common second language. The jokes are the hardest part.
Yeah, so water skin weighs 5 pounds when full, costs 2 silver pieces. A day of rations is 5 silver pieces, costs 2 pounds. I'm sorry, costs 5 silver pieces, weighs 2 pounds.
So I'm going to buy 30 days of rations. I'm not planning to come back. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just gonna buy 20 days of rations.
And I'm not going
I'm
to put
sorry,
the
I
weight.
What was that? What was the price of the rations? I'm sorry.
2 days for
one gold for
piece.
2, basically.
Yep. Yep, so a day is 5 silver pieces, so gold for 2 days. Yep.
So 15
Okay.
gold for a one-way trip, 30 gold for... Well, I don't know if we're keeping the carriage. It's probably going to leave us when we get there.
I bought 12. I've got 32 things of rations right now, so. And I got 2 water skins on me, but I do think that buying a barrel of water is not a bad idea.
Yes, and then we will stop and fill it at the hamburgers that we go down the road and visit.
Yeah, and keep in mind, again, you guys have a good amount of money at this point. So, Spectre, I would say, getting with your contacts, you could do this a couple of different ways. One is you basically just arrange for transportation for your group. So you would be sitting in the back of a wagon kind of deal as they drive down from Waterdeep down to Boriskar Bridge. If you wanted to, you could actually pay the cost of the carriage and the 2 riding horses, and then it would be yours. You could still get potentially a driver if you wanted, so you guys don't have to worry about driving it. And then once you got there, the driver would just disconnect essentially, and they'd be free to go about their business there in Boriskar Bridge, while you guys would have the carriage and horses there and could choose to either board them at that time or take them with you wherever your next destination is.
Yeah, we should probably do that. And I'd even pay more for a driver who doesn't ask any questions.
Yep, and I'm assuming based on your contacts that you're kind of getting that service for free. So this is a driver that's just maybe owes some favors to some different people. So he's been told, hey, you're transporting this group from here to here, no questions asked, and he's signed up and ready to go.
That's good to me.
For the cost, carriage is only 100 gold pieces, and riding horses are 75 each. So 2 would take your carriage. So altogether, 250 gold pieces gets you a carriage and 2 riding horses. And keep in mind there is a cost in like upkeep, feeding them, all that kind of stuff. But it's not super significant.
Sure. Anyone want to contribute to this mercantile endeavor?
Of course I will. It is
148 gold.
It is time of giving. I will give you 50 gold pieces for your things.
We'll give you 100, so you remember I did more than Gale did.
Sure.
That was a joke. You did not. No one laughed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that you are a joking person.
And I'm kind of out of gold, so I asked someone to find me a nice cloak, and they charged me a lot of gold, but they're gonna find me something good, so when I return, I have a nice cloak.
Oh, how much is it total? It's 100 plus 150, so 250. So that's 150.
So I'll throw in the extra 100. So yeah, we got it.
And then we still got a writ for 13,200, which Rasmus
That's
has
true.
that.
Why the fuck are we penny pinching? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get a whole fleet of carriages. Let's buy an army.
We each have our own.
No. All we need to do is make sure Kurtu has his own, so he only talks to himself.
If that's the case, then yeah, Kurtu, you can have your barrel of fish.
Can you imagine how many barrels I could put in my own?
Could you imagine the
That would be
robbers
wonderful.
pulling us over? Going through the carriages. Rasmus has got a bunch of food and he's smoking, and Gale's got a bunch of musical instruments and pretty art, and well, I guess it depends on his day, and no one can really see Spectre because it's dark, and then Kurtu's just got a bunch of fish.
Can never have enough.
No, I say we can just get one, right? I mean, we're all pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, we should be fine. And then, having that carriage would come in handy too. Because it's covered, and then, out of character. Obviously, Adam mentioned that there's a lot of moments of travel in this, so having that ourselves would be nice.
Well, what about like a bigger one? What are the options?
I think a carriage can carry up to 6 people, so just the 4 of us and a
the
driver should be fine.
upgraded version of a carriage would be a chariot.
Could we have
That would
spikes
carry-
on the side?
But that would carry less than the weight. Yeah, so the best option, 600 pounds, is a carriage.
Well, that's how much the
Oh.
thing itself weighs.
Oh, yeah. What's the carrying capacity in these guys? Huh, never mind.
And I'm not sure the
Yeah,
PHP gives great descriptions of each of these different vehicles, but we can roughly guess as needed. Obviously, a chariot costs you more money. I imagine chariot's probably more of the covered kind, where a carriage is kind of open, right? So carriages, think of it just like a big rectangle that holds stuff. Chariot, I should look up a picture of a chariot, but I'm picturing more of like a traditional carriage.
But it's much less. It only weighs 100 pounds. Carriage weighs 600 pounds. So
When I think of a chariot, do you remember in Gladiator when they had
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
horses?
thinking.
That's what I think
not
of. When
not glad Ben-Hur. Oh gosh.
Ben-Hur.
That is true, yes. I just looked up a picture and it says, what's the difference between a carriage, cart, chariot, or wagon? Yeah, your chariot is more that little dinky thing that one person sits in. Yeah, Ben-Hur is probably your best example.
No, so we'll go with the bigger one, and we'll put a tarp, a hood on top of it. Yeah, probably
Yes, I
gotta
think-
just theater of the mind this stuff, but still pay the gold for it.
Yeah, so I imagine, Adam, if we go with the carriage, right? Then it's open face like you said, but we can probably get one that has like a Oregon Trail style tarp that we could roll over it, right?
So here's what we're going to do is really quick. I'm just going to make an executive decision here. So I see there's a wagon. We'll say the wagon's the open-faced one that's just a big square. Carriage is closed, so it has storage in it, and people can sit inside of it. Cart is basically just a small wagon. Chariot is a really fancy, more for combat than for travel.
Perfect. We want the
So,
covered one,
Want
please.
the covered one?
So you want the carriage.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. So carriage, back to our original pricing, 100 gold pieces.
Okay, cool. All right, so I think we're good on that. And then with the horses, we'll buy the 2 horses and everything. And then
Yeah.
I see you posted the horse feed at 5 copper pieces per day.
Yeah.
So
Per
5
horse,
times
so 10.
10 times 30, 60. So that's 600 copper pieces, which converts to quick gold. What is that? 6 gold pieces.
Yes.
So I'll pay that.
Okay, then I will buy also. That's a nice picture. I will also buy a barrel of water. So I have rations and water for me, 1 barrel. So that's 4 gallons. 40 gallons.
Cool.
How many gallons of water do you drink a day?
Well, I would probably only need maybe 1 gallon of water today.
He said 8 cups. Is what you're supposed to drink
No,
per
for
day.
the barrel one. Well, if I think about it like a milk jug of water, I could crush that in a day and be healthy.
Yeah, but we're
Question
not
is
exerting.
How much
Physical.
mechanically do we need?
Yeah, the
each.
bucket. I mean, the barrel should be fine though. I think that would last us
One barrel
there
for
and
all
back.
of us, or do
Yeah,
we need
40
multiple
gallons?
barrels?
It's
We'll
not
get-
like we're freaking
Dude,
working out every single
it's
day.
2 gold pieces. I'll buy 2. I bought 2. Done.
I guess, yeah.
Water skin holds 4 pints of liquid. If I remember correctly, I think you need 8 pints per day.
Okay.
So we have now 80 gallons of fresh water currently loaded onto the carriage.
It's gonna really suck if we lose this carriage in the first random encounter.
Who's gonna take it from
Would
core
never
4
happen.
level 9? No, not gonna happen.
I mean, if like a dragon swoops down and torches it, that would be a problem. But then we could turn around.
Elemental reinforcement on it for just an additional 15,000 gold.
We almost have that.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I think
I
we'll be
imagine
okay.
Adam, like what we did in the morning, right? We went and we picked up all the feed and, we saddled and Britton bridled the horses and, got everything linked up to the carriage and we were like waiting for the driver to get there. And I think we're all loaded up unless anybody wants anything else. But we got food, we got water, we got
I did.
transportation.
Yep. I agree. We should go. I also did, just so everyone knows, I bought 4 vials of acid.
Oh yeah, for the trolls.
That was $25 each. So I funded that too.
What do you mean bucks?
Oh, I mean, I don't know that. Leroy said these were dollars for some reason. It's his fault.
GFA wild thing. All right, we ready to go?
Yes, let's giddy up. Today's
So-
going to be a good day.
So I've got like 16 gold pieces, but all in silver because I have no gold left. But I do have 3 healing potions. Does anybody need healing potions? I can distribute. That could be nice.
I've got 4.
I'm good on healing potions. No, thank you.
I think we'll
Spectre,
split
do
it
you
up.
need a healing potion or do you plan on not getting hit?
Well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Did Misty fuck off? Is she no longer with us?
She is not with you. No, her and McCath, once they arrived here at Waterdeep, McCath, you obviously know, went to the Arcane Brotherhood. Misty did not accompany you.
Okay. That would have changed the math. But okay, yeah, we're good.
Okay, is there any other last minute preparations before you guys hit the road?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
All right, hearing that, I will assume you guys have now departed Waterdeep with your driver, met them early in the morning, not many words exchanged other than just sort of a nod towards Spectre, as Spectre provides sort of on the down low credentials to confirm Spectre is who she says she is. The driver sort of confirms that, and then from then on is quite quiet as you guys load everything up. Does help as far as like throwing stuff on as needed. Am I assuming that all of you are wanting to ride inside of the carriage? Nobody's trying to ride outside with the driver, correct?
That's correct. And yes, and we would enjoy the privacy of our own conversations.
I would try to talk Gale into teaching me more Draconic while we're moving.
Yes, and as long as Gale's willing to do that, you can deduct any day that Gale and you both spend the full day towards your overall requirement of number of days. I think I provided that to you last time, so I'm assuming you're tracking that, right?
Yep, I got it. I'm 20% done as we speak. I got it. It's like 1 full work week gains a certain percentage. I got it written down. We're good.
Perfect. So,
And I'm willing to do so, and I'm going to start with the cuss words just to keep you motivated.
to be like 60% on the cuss words, 10 on everything else for a while. Okay. All right, fair enough. So, as this is a long bit of travel, and again, you guys know that you've got approximately 30 days travel, we're going to go through this relatively quickly. If there's something in particular that you're wanting to do, let me know. But we're going to, based on our discussions about some potential random events, we're just going to go left to right. So we'll start with Spectre. Please roll me a D100. Okay, so you guys leave Waterdeep proper and start traveling. Think of this as you guys are moving across open land. There's some rough paths or tracks here and there. Some of it's more rough than others. As you're spending this time inside doing either the teaching, maybe just, talking with one another, poking your head out of the carriage every now and again to see what you see, that kind of thing. But this ends up being fairly monotonous travel. So for the first day, you guys pass by, or you come up towards this river crossing, and as you get closer to it, you notice that there is a bit of a backlog. So you can think of yourselves as having traveled about 4 hours before you get here, so it's early afternoon. You can see that there is a bridge that crosses this river, but you notice a crowd that is maybe 10 rows deep of people combined with horses, combined with wagons, and they are kind of like just all backed up here.
Motherfucking traffic.
Well, it is the big city.
Traffic.
Somebody
What is-
better be dead.
What is traffic?
We got places to be.
Well, let's go see if maybe something is in the way, and I can help them because I'm feeling very helpful today.
I can go with you, Gail. Maybe someone's stuck, and we can move
Yeah.
them out of the way.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe someone's stuck.
Do you need
Huh.
management?
Or to watch our stuff.
We need somebody here
Oh, okay.
to protect our stuffs.
Oh, could be me because I'm good at protecting stuff. Okay, good.
You'll do
If
fine.
you need management, let me know. I can help.
Adam, can I climb out of the carriage and then climb onto the top there? And I imagine that's probably maybe 8 feet in the air. Can I see up over and can I get a better view of what's causing the traffic jam over here?
You can certainly try, yeah. So to the far right of the screen here, you'll notice I've added your your tokens. They're a little bit in the white space over there, but yeah, go ahead and give me a blind check.
Perfect. And let's do let's do a little hero point action. Why not?
Okay. All right, I will add 5 to your blind check. Okay, so as you get up as high as you can, you notice the driver just kind of turns and looks towards you, just kind of eyes you, but doesn't say anything. As you get as tall as you can here, Rasmus, looking over the rest of the crowd, you notice that the bridge itself is actually broke. So you can see shards and splinters near the middle. The gap looks to be about 10 feet wide from one side to the other. However, you notice that people are kind of making their way down towards the water. So you can think of the bridge as being maybe 20 feet over the water, right? So the water's 20 feet below the bridge. It seems like people are walking down to the shore, but it's a very slow process, a few here and there. Sometimes it's people only on foot. Other time it is people on horseback.
Looks like the bridge is broke, guys. They're trying to go around underneath. That's where the backup is.
Do they look like they're in panic, or are they just solving the problem?
No one looks panicked. It just looks like they're moving around the issue. But Kurtu,
Yes?
do you have any magic that could help fix this bridge?
Like bridge magic?
I
Yes.
don't remember that school of magic.
I don't.
Maybe I
don't
wasn't
know
paying
what that
attention.
No, I don't have anything. What destroyed it? I mean, that's more important is why did it break?
Well, I can't see all of that from back here, but it's maybe 10 feet.
Well, I don't want to abandon our supplies just to see what's the big hole problem. So someone should go.
I can go check it out closer.
I can go too.
All right, I will stay here with Spectre, and we shall enjoy.
Okay, you guys guard this stuff this time. That would be wonderful.
I guess for the time being, while you wait, as people move slowly, just follow the crowd down the shore, and if we see another way around, we'll let you know.
What, are you my father all of a sudden? I thought that the Kurtu was in charge.
This
Okay,
is
do what
all-
he said. That sounds good.
This was in Elvish.
Ditto.
And then he gives him a quick, he cusses at him really quick and draconic, and then he looks at him and is like, "Was that right?"
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was
A little
good.
more
Good
emphasis on his mother.
Oh,
Oh, what his mother again?
Maybe next time.
Okay, well, Kurtu, come on.
I'm coming.
Okay, so Kurtu and Rasmus, you're exiting the carriage and you're trying to basically walk past these rows of people to get to the front to see what you can see.
Oh yes, I'm very curious.
Yeah, we're not obviously trying to cut in front of anybody, but we just want to get a closer look, and if anybody looks at us or anything, we'll just say, I guess if somebody talks to us, we'll ask what happened to the bridge.
All right, so in the back of this, thick crowd of people, when you first start getting closer, nobody really seems to pay much attention. As you try to get around the edges, you really realizing the edges are pretty, pushed out wide. so you're having to kind of start narrowing and ducking in between people, and you do see people now start looking at you, and you hear some like these sort of sighs or exasperated looks, and you notice a couple of people look towards you, and eventually as you're getting up a little bit closer, you notice this woman who appears to be dressed like a farmer. As she sees you go by, you see she looks over to presumably her husband and says, "Oh, I guess they're too good to wait in line." And you notice the husband's like, shh, 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 as he looks at you guys and hopes that you're not taking offense or perhaps noticing her comment.
I
Karen,
slowly
I'm
turn my head and neigh like a goat.
I would like to apologize. Me and my pet are trying to see if we can try to fix the bridge in any way.
did not just say that.
That was good. Okay. So you notice that the farmer, the husband here, looks over towards you and just gives a nod as he pulls like this straw hat off of his head and just scratches at his very thinning hair. "Oh yes, of course, sure. Well, whatever you need to do."
Thank you, kind sir. Let's get going. Giddy up.
I just push Kurtu a little bit.
All right,
That's what you
guys
get.
continue trying to make your way. Again, the crowd is certainly getting thicker, right? And it's like more people all together. And as you're pushing up a little bit farther, you're definitely hearing these more comments, far more than you can address on an individual basis. But being fairly small, Kurtu, it seems to be a little bit easier for you to get through this crowd. Rasmus, you're staying as close as you can to Kurtu. And eventually you notice you're getting more towards the front when you see about 6 men come up from below the shore, and they go up towards where the crowd is gathered here, and you can see there's like 3 other men kind of standing here holding the line. And the 6 that come up down from the shore, they all seem to be wearing like studded leather armor and have these kind of heavy clubs at their sides. You notice the one who presumably is like a leader approaches as he crests this little bit of a hill, and he looks and he says, "All right, we can take the next grouping now. Get your coins ready. You got to make sure you have that money ready," and looks out towards the area here as you see people counting out their silver pieces and having them in little piles.
Kurtu.
I think it's the cartel.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that is, but if the cartel steals people money for convenience, then I think that's what these guys are doing.
Adam, can we see the bridge and see what what the damage may look like or anything?
From here, not really well. You could certainly go to the bridge because right now you guys are off to the side of the bridge where this crowd is. So nobody's trying to go on the bridge, right? Like you see maybe a few stragglers, that kind of thing, but it seems as though folks have a good understanding of what the process is. So if you want to, approach the bridge and investigate it, you can certainly do that.
Now let's go, Kurtu. I mean, no one says we have to stay in this line, and if they do, I'll punch them in the mouth.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys make your way through this crowd here as you see the next batch of people hand over their coins to these different guys. They have these like pouches out that they collect the silver coins from the people, and as you're making your way up to the bridge, you see a couple of people look in your direction and just shake their heads like you don't know what you're doing, perhaps. As you see, they take this next batch down, and as you're ascending onto the bridge, you can see there is actually a ferry down below. And it seems that they're loading these people up and taking them across the river here to the other side.
I'm going to ask someone.
How long has this been going on? I mean, I'm just curious.
You ask this, you notice a gentleman who looks like he's clad perhaps as like a traveling merchant. And you see he looks back over towards you and then looks down, realizing that you're a little bit shorter than he expected. "Oh, well, I think it's been like 2 days now, according to those guys. Yeah, it's strange. They usually don't see damage like this, but yeah, 2 days perhaps?"
Do they know what caused it? I mean, I'm kind of concerned.
Go ahead and give me a blind check here, Kurtu.
Oh yeah. Okay, I guess that's not auto set in there. One moment.
Yep, and remember your tokens are off on the right-hand side, so if you find your token and click it, it should pop up on the top of the screen for you.
Yeah, it's not because I don't have it set on this particular computer. So my apologies. One moment.
So as you said, and I'm just going to remove your token here, Bill, because there's one already on the far right of the screen for you.
Okay, thanks.
So as you mention this and ask this question, you notice he kind of looks around and just stretches his neck out a bit, and then looks down and says, "Oh, look, my shoe is loose. I better tie that tighter." And you see he kneels down, and then under his breath he says, "I wouldn't be surprised if they did it themselves. Do you see that ferry? It looks like it's made of the same material as the broken bridge."
Yeah, I think they seem like a bunch of jerks. Thank you for thank you for sharing your knowledge.
And you see he just kind of coughs and stands back up. "Oh, well, yes, good luck to you."
You too, sir. Good luck with the bridge. I hope this year doesn't affect you and your family too much.
And you notice he nods as he once again just looks back out towards the crowd.
Adam, is it possible to walk out on the bridge before where it's broken?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Rasmus will wander over and just try to get an idea of what happened. Did it look like maybe after hearing that between Kurtu and that gentleman, do I think maybe I can confirm that, that it was broken to be used as this ferry?
You can certainly try. So yeah, you make your way out there and you see a couple people are on the bridge as well here, but nowhere near the kind of crowd that's down closer towards the shore. And you see them, the couple people that are up here looking towards the bridge and shaking their heads almost in disbelief. But yeah, as you approach here, go and throw me a blind check as you try to investigate the bridge and see if you can draw any conclusions as far as how exactly this damage occurred.
Okay, so investigation I really suck at, so I'm going to use my inspiration at him, so I'll roll with advantage.
Okay. So what I would say is as you investigate this, you notice that there are sections that are splintered. This indicates significant damage, like a strong force that snapped and broke things. But there are other pieces of it that look almost sawed clean. So you would have to guess that there was some kind of initial damage here, perhaps, and then there was additional cutting of the boards, the planks that make up the bridge, the wood bridge here, intentionally done so.
Okay, and then if I walk out to where it's broken the most, like it seems completely incapable of sustaining like the weight of our carriage, and we couldn't make it over, could we?
So there's literally a gap of about 10 feet where there's no bridge at all. There's just planks and splinters that connect from one side to the other, but there's just gone there. So yeah, there's no way you could get the carriage across unless it can fly or jump somehow, right? Like you would have to clear 10 feet of clearance.
Okay. Just for my mental sake, I'm imagining like like when Gandalf broke the bridge and it was completely separated. There's not even like some side parts that are going across. It's completely severed.
No, there's some side parts, but not enough that obviously definitely not a carriage, even a person you think would have a really hard time. Like if you were like an acrobatic kind of person, you might be able to narrowly go down the real thin railing and then hop the much smaller gap between one railing to the next. That would be more like 3 feet wide instead of the 10 feet in the middle.
Yeah, I could make that jump though. Can I walk over to the edge of the bridge, facing where the people are going, and look down? Can I see the ferry they're talking about?
You can, yes. This river is not particularly wide, maybe 40 feet across. So yeah, you can see the ferry pretty easily. It only takes them maybe 10 minutes to go from one side to the other after, loading the people up and taking these poles and just dragging it across the other side. So yeah, the wood of the ferry certainly looks very similar to the wood of the bridge's construction.
How big is the ferry? Does it look like it could fit our cart?
It does, yeah. It's probably about 20 feet wide by maybe 10 feet, something along those lines.
Okay. So Rasmus will turn back around and look at Kurtu, and he'll go, So it's obvious, right? I mean, these guys broke the bridge, you see, right here, sawed off. And look at the materials of the ferry, Kurtu. It looks like they've running some kind of con.
How many of them did you see?
Can I look back and get a count on how many of those heavily armed guys with the clubs and everything that I saw?
Between both sides of the river, about a dozen.
Okay, but they are split across the river and on the barge.
Yes, it looks like the largest group, about 6 of them, are on the barge, like taking people back and forth. Then they come off of the well, it's really a ferry. They come off the ferry, make their way up, collect the next group of people, take them down. So think of it as like 6 doing the transportation, and then 3 on either side for a total of 12.
So, Adam, I have a question for you, mathematically, just
Sure.
visual. So, if we get on the ferry, for an example, and we go to the other side, then there's approximately 9 of them there, right? Because then the other
Correct.
3 are on the other side. Okay.
You
Yep.
got it.
Okay.
Exactly right.
I think
I think we should just tell our friends, see what happens. Maybe we get to the other side and then we beat the crap out of these bad people.
I like your idea. Here's what I'm thinking, Kurtu. Right? Have you ever heard the story about the farmer who had to take the chicken, the fox, and the goat across, whatever it was, the 3 different animals?
No, I haven't heard that one.
Okay, so on one side, right, you leave one animal and you take the other one so it doesn't eat one animal, right? Right, and if we time it correctly, we wait until that barge is all the way on the other side, and then we kick the crap out of the 3 on this side, right?
But then they would have the barge on the other side. They wouldn't bring it back to us.
Yeah, but I can jump over this. You can fly
Yeah,
over
but the
this.
cart can't.
What? What'd you say?
But then the cart can't. The cart can't jump over this.
No. Yeah. We bring the barge back, right? We ferry it back across, and I wonder if there's a carpenter here who can rebuild this bridge or make it functionable for people just to cross. But, I mean, look, you saw that farmer. He doesn't have silver handy.
Oh, I'm all for it. But I think we should talk to our friends and let them know. Tell them what's going on, and then we can ask them if they want to if we should handle this.
Well, yes, I think we should handle this for sure. I also have this really cool new tattoo that I could use to punch somebody. Let's go back.
Hey, just to if you can hear me, sometimes my mic goes out where I can't hear you guys at all, and then it comes back again. I don't know what's causing that, so just to let you know. So if you were talking over the last 10 seconds, 20 seconds, I didn't hear it.
Let's go back to our friends, right? We'll chat with them. We'll figure out what they think. But maybe while we're walking, we'll see if we can see like a carpenter or a woodworker.
Yeah, and then when we're talking, we can say it looks like they broke the bridge themselves, and then we just keep on walking and talking like that and see what happens.
Oh, you mean cause a riot?
I'm just saying, cause some issues. Yep, maybe they help us.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're severely outnumbered here, but we wouldn't want civilians to get hurt.
Okay, that's fine too.
Okay, well, look, and this is while we're walking back towards the cart. I'm going to give Kurtu a rundown of my idea. We take out the 3 on this side while everyone else is on the other side. And then, if we wait until they start bringing the barge back, right? Well, if we can do it fast enough and quiet enough, then we can take them all down very quickly. And then we take over the barge, right? And then we use the materials to build up the bridge. Meanwhile, the 2 of us, maybe 3 of us, can go to the other side and kick the ass of the other 3. Or 4, or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't know if I told you when I woke up and we were eating those eggs this morning, but as a reminder, my invisibility spells are getting stronger now, so I feel pretty competent with that. And also, I can now, I feel that my dragon roar, I can actually cause creatures to slow down too, where they fear me and they're in slow motion. Just in case that's helpful.
That's nice. I did not hear you because once again I chew so loudly. I told you to not talk to me while I eat.
Yeah, I maybe, yeah, general conversation. I don't know.
It's it's like chewing really loud potato chips. I cannot hear you over them.
I understand. You do eat kind of loud. I get it.
Okay, well, let's get back.
You
There they
guys,
are. There's the cart.
yeah, as you're speaking this whole way back, yeah, you definitely make it back to the carriage. You can see that the crowd is growing perhaps slightly more restless, but nothing too crazy.
So inside the carriage, I am talking to Spectre and saying, "So explain to me again these mother jokes. So why would it be funny to insult my mother?"
I don't know, man. It's just what people do. Kind of in poor taste, but swearing at people is fine. I never had a mother. Not that I knew, anyway.
Oh.
But
Well, I will never insult your mother. Well, unless I'm in
it would
the.
be hard to do because we don't know anything about her.
Oh yeah, that's true. Then yeah, because I get it. Consulting is irony. Is that what Leroy said? It's irony or something.
There.
Hey guys, what's up? What did you
Where do you
find?
think those idiots are? Oh, there they are. Hey guys, what's up?
Hey guys. Well, so there's well, someone broke the bridge on purpose, and they're using the materials to build a ferry to ferry people across for money. They're robbing these people.
Business sense. Sorry, what? Go ahead.
I mean, yes, that's good money. Look at all these people, but the bridge is like cut and broken in places. It looks like on purpose.
Well,
that's a
I say
problem.
that we leave the carriage, lock the door, tell your friend in your special language to not let anyone steal our stuffs, and that we go kick their ass.
Well, it's a bit more complicated, right? There's a lot of civilians, and then there's the issue with like multiple people on each side. So there's bad guys on the other side, there's bad guys on the barge and ferry thing, and then there's more bad guys on this side. Bit of a conundrum.
So then solve the problem, Conundrum.
I think they would not expect an attack from the other side.
So you want us to get our cart on the ferry, get across the water, then kill the people on the other side, and then what?
No, that's gonna take forever. You see how long this line is?
Yeah.
You wanna wait in this?
No.
Okay.
But
so,
regardless, we're going to have to get to the other side, which means we would be waiting anyway. It's not like the bridge is going to fix itself.
you guys cannot jump 10 feet. What are you? You
Okay,
cannot
so
jump over the bridge?
we beat up the people on this side of water, while the plank is on the other side, and then we expect the people on the plank to come back.
That seems unlikely. As soon as we
Yeah.
start a fight, the crowd's gonna draw their attention, and then they're just gonna leave.
I'm thinking we go to the other side. I was talking with Kurtu, and I agreed that was my first thought, but let's see instead if we go to the other side, right? Take out the guys on that side, and then we would be in control if the barge is over there.
Right, but why don't we just let them take us across first? I know it's going to take a while, but it's going to take us a while anyway. And then they get tired of all the rowing and things, or whatever they're doing with the barge.
Then we give all the money back to the Bipples.
Yeah, and we give half the money back to the people. That's right.
What? You guys want to wait maybe 3-4 hours, then fight, then give half the money back
Dylan,
to
we
the
got
customers?
Dylan, but we have to get the cart to the other side anyway. That's my point.
Yeah, okay, guys. But here's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's coming through correctly through the roleplay. We kick their ass, we take the freaking wood, and we rebuild the bridge real quick. Boom.
Okay, so wait. You don't want to wait in line, but you want to spend God knows how long rebuilding a bridge?
It's not like rebuilding. You just lay the planks down, nail them down. Boom, boom,
And
boom.
there's
Yeah,
a bunch of
that'll work.
pipples who will help.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, and then I'm sure we'll have a lot of volunteers because they're not going to have to pay.
We will be
And then-
heroes.
If we're trying to stay freaking quiet though and remain anonymous, then yeah, we can wait in this long line. We can get swindled by these guys and then just keep going on our merry way.
Right,
That's
that is an
true.
option. But I mean, getting to the other side and then what? I mean, I agree with what Jordan was saying that building a bridge is going to take us longer. But
Why do we care
I
about
mean-
these people? If we get our shit across, going our way. We're on a bigger mission here. Who cares if these farmers get where they're going today? I say in the
That is-
privacy of our carriage.
That is mean. That is mean. But I do not like being swindled. If you've watched any episode ever of me playing this game, I do not like getting swindled.
No, Dylan
And
is
Adam
not like
knows
that.
this.
It's called Famboozled. Leroy taught me that.
Adam knows this. I hate it.
Oh, I'm all for either way. I just don't feel like making a bridge. That's just my thing. Everything
So-
else is good except for the bridge building thing.
So what we do, we kick their ass, because I am kicking their ass and I'm giving the money back to the pipples. And then we say, excuse us, thank you for letting us save your money, but we go first. And then we make them let us go first. We go to the front of the line and we move on our merry way. And we are heroes.
Here's a question. So we go to the other side. I guess we jump over the bridge or something. Clear this 10-foot gap. Is that the plan? Or are we tricking them into ferrying us across and then killing them? Either way, we start killing them on the other side. The people on this other side notice and they start killing civilians or doing something else. And we're on the other side of the river.
I think we kick these pipples first that's next to the other pipples on this side of the river.
You want to start a fight in the middle of a crowd?
No,
In the
they're
in broad daylight.
yeah, they're not in the middle of the crowd. And these people have started the bullying.
You want
So
to
they
start a fight in
deserve to
front of a crowd?
Yes, I do want to start the fight in front of the crowd. I think it would be fantastic.
It just depends on what we want to do. I
But,
would
like-
not mind fighting, but at the same time, we do need to be anonymous.
We're
I mean,
going to
we-
cause an enormous panic if we.
So in
start
other words,
calling
no
weapons.
fireball. Is that what you're saying, Spectre?
Well, not on this side of the river. Here's a suggestion. You guys think these are criminals, right? I'm something of a criminal myself. I walk up there, I talk to them in our language, see if there's anything we can. See if there's another deal we can work out here. I'm not the
Okay.
I'm not the most persuasive person.
Oh, I've seen you
Well,
with those blades. You can be persuasive in your own way.
Do you want my loot? It plays things, makes colors while you play it. That
I
will
don't
help.
think that'll help.
What?
Do you
It
want
helps
to be
me.
invisible?
Explain it. Explain in detail how that would help the situation.
Well, back home, this is how you mate. You soothe an individual through song. Is that
Yeah,
not
but
what you
there's
do?
like 12 of them. That would tire me out real hard. So
You don't have to consummate the marriage. You just have to marry them.
I do not understand where that's. But
But
okay.
remember,
show me to these people. I will see what's going on. See if we can work something out.
Okay,
We
but
can't.
we all go then, because we could lock the door and we'll all go. What do you think about that?
Well, we have a driver.
Fine, he goes in line, but we lock the door and then we go together, all four of us. I'm not waiting in here again.
Really quick side plan. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but Kurtu, you can make things fly, right?
That's what I was trying to say. I can make people fly if you would like.
Or not people. What about the horse? Could you make the horse fly?
I could. I don't know
if we
about.
want to do a
but I-
fourth level spell slot to cross a river. Let's just kick their asses.
Yeah, and I also would say that we still need to bring the cart over. The horses, I don't know.
Yeah, but me and Gail could throw the cart while the horses fly it, and I think we could clear 10 feet. I think it would look really cool.
Oh yeah,
Right?
that would be cool. Good theater of the
Unless-
mind. Yeah, Adam's
Unless
not gonna
you
allow
fuck it
that. Though.
Unless you fuck it up and the cart falls in the river and we lose 40 days of rations.
I have a better
Just like
idea.
the fucking Oregon Trail. I'm getting flashbacks to fucking middle school.
I have a better
Yeah.
idea. Maybe I polymorph the horses into Pegasuses, and they fly over with the cart.
That's what I was thinking. Yes.
Yeah, the dysentery.
concept.
That's what I was thinking. We always die of dysentery at Oregon Trail.
Freaking Oregon Trail, man. You go all that time, you do so well, you get all the way to the end, and the freaking river would just mess you up right at the end. Man, let's just out of character real quick, guys. Let's just put it to a vote. Do we want to fight these guys? Do we want to wait in line, or do we want to do something stupid with the cart?
That was a good point. If we're going to be covert, we just wait in line like everybody else. We were delayed like a day, and we pay our fine, and we get going. But then Dylan feels bamboozled. But then we lay low.
I can get
So
over
that's
it.
I think that's the real risk here, is that rumors will start. And we just we just agreed with Dala not to be famous. So maybe we go about a way, we hide in a carriage. If they accost us in some way because we have a fancy carriage, Spectre does her thing, and if they provoke it, then we kick their ass. That's a good plan. I like that better.
And on the other side, I turn two of you invisible, and you guys come back and assassinate them.
No, we're not doing that. We're just going to pay our money.
But nobody would see what you look like. I know, but I'm all for about trying that new spell. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I can get over being swindled, but just know, yeah, if they try to start some shit, though, I'm punching somebody. That will happen. So
I
we'll roll
agree.
an initiative.
So there's at least 2 votes for we're going along with the part with the Famboozle, Adam.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right, sounds like that's majority. So you guys wait patiently in line here as you notice people are taking over shortly at a time, different groups. You end up spending about 3 hours here in line before your carriage is more towards the front. As all these additional people have come across, you notice the same group sort of approaches and motions to the driver, and you hear him say, "It's 1 silver piece per person and 5 silver pieces for the horses. They weigh much more significantly," and you see he kind of like knocks to get your attention, but you guys hear this voice call out as well.
I'm going to step out with a gold piece. I don't know how much. What did he say? He said two per person or 1 per person?
1 per person and 5 per horse.
That's 5, 10, 15. I'll just bring 2 gold pieces. Yeah.
Okay. So you approach with the money. You see he kind of looks at you a little bit strangely, perhaps not used to seeing satyrs here. But when you hand the coins over, you notice he just looks at it and counts it real quick. And he steps to the side and looks inside the open carriage door and just counts the number of people. And he nods and says, "All right, follow me. Come on down." You see he starts motion with the driver. And there's like a little bit of a separation as the carriage is allowed to make its way down towards the ferry here. And you guys all get on. You notice again there's like 6 individuals here who kind of all line up as you guys get onto the ferry. And you notice they kind of call out and they have these long poles and they pretty quickly just start pushing out. I assume you guys are just going along for the ride and trying to get to the other side, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
getting the carriage over is the primary objective here. What happens after that, the party can decide. But looking at these guys, if we can see them, do they look like at all dangerous to people like us, or are they just like fucking level 2
Dirtbags.
bandit jobbers?
Give me a blind check, Spectre.
And I believe Gale might be able to do that if this is taking a while as well.
Yeah, I was thinking, was it a minute for him to get our gold? I could size him up.
To just scan through the open doorway? No.
Okay.
So you would get a read on these guys as being sort of like town guards, is what you approximate? You don't think they would really pose any threat to your group at all?
The point isn't that we kick their ass. Really, the point is we lay low, and that's
The point is we
smart.
get our carriage across and be on our way. We
Yes,
got bigger
let's
problems
go.
than this shit.
We have a 5-headed dragon to slay. who's a god, by the way.
All right, so you guys wait patiently inside the carriage as you're pulled across the river here. It's slow going. It takes, again, about 10 minutes to get across this fairly narrow river. You notice the guys with the poles are the same 6 individuals that are sort of coming up and down. Those of you that are closest to the sort of carriage open areas and can look out, you can get the impression that these guys look pretty exhausted, as though they've been doing this for a long time. Occasionally you notice them kind of like wiping sweat off of their foreheads. But yeah, after that 10 minutes or so, you get to the other side. You see them start motioning. They're like, all right, you're good to go. Head on out.
We'll indicate to the driver that we should disembark
All
before
right.
anything else happens.
You kind of give him this knock to let him know, and sure enough, he just takes the reins and starts moving. And yeah, the horses climb off of the ferry very easily, and you hear the wheels of the carriage start rolling, the sort of clank, clank, clank as it hits the ground, and then it gets much quieter on the soft dirt as you guys have crossed the river and are continuing on.
Good job. Way to avoid it.
Now, are you guys sure you don't want to assassinate them?
No,
They look
let's go.
pretty tired.
Let's go.
Do not tempt me, Kotu. I am mad that I had to spend that money.
It's
yeah,
15 silver. We'll get over it.
You had to spend your money? It makes you mad. That's too bad that you have to live with that.
All right, so it sounds like you guys keep moving on. You travel for only like another very short bit of time here, maybe 20 minutes or so. It's quite dark by the time you cross the river, so you're realizing that the horses had a good chance to rest. So you could obviously continue on into the night. You'd be kind of riding a little bit blindly. They do have the ability to do lantern like on the front of the carriage, so that would give you like 60 feet of light out into the distance. But there's certainly some dangers in traveling at night. Are you guys wanting to push on a little bit until the horses get tired, or are you wanting to sort of set up camp here?
There's no need to tire the horses on the first day. Let's find a camping spot.
Yeah, let's camp. I vote that.
Sure.
All right, you guys call it a night and find a small area off of the main road here. The carriage is sort of just pulled off. It's pretty calm out in this area. It's mostly plains or some trees, but nothing too hazardous. Are you guys posting watches or just trying to get into sleep? Are you sleeping outside, trying to sleep in the carriage? Just give me an idea about that.
Should certainly post a watch. Like, there's nothing around, right? We're not like in a rest stop or anything. We're just like on the side of the road.
You're just on the side of the road. You don't see anything obviously dangerous, but obviously that might not be so obvious if there are dangers.
I think Rasmus would set up his little bedroll up on the top, Adam, and keep watch for the first portion of the evening, because it would be the least amount of dark, so he would be the most useful, I suppose, at that point.
Okay, so to keep things moving at a good pace here, what I'm going to say is let's highlight a particular character each night that's going to be the primary watcher, right? It doesn't mean you're staying up all night or anything like that, but it means your role is the one that is important. So who would like to be watcher tonight?
I will make watch because I am feeling very good.
Okay, Gail, go ahead and give me a blind check. All right, so during your watch, you're keeping your eyes peeled for any sorts of danger. You hear the occasional animal, like an owl here or there, a little bit of rustling off to the side, like squirrels, something like that. Really nothing of danger whatsoever. Everybody go ahead and deduct a ration as you guys sleep, eat that night or that day, wake up in the morning and, get a little fire going, maybe do a little breakfast, something like that. But shortly thereafter, you are ready to continue moving.
Onward and upward.
Yeah,
Or
having that barrel of water just means we can just completely refill our water skin over and over again, so that's
We have
nice.
several barrels of water even, so yeah.
All right, so doing a quick distance check here.
We can also reevaluate the next time we get to like a major city if we need to, if it looks like we're not going to make it.
You certainly can, yes. And noting the information provided by Dala, the next major city is going to be Daggerford. So based on additional trip time here, see Spectre already rolled. Rasmus, go ahead and roll me a D100, please. Okay, and then Gale. and Kurtu. Okay, and then Spectre again. All right, you guys travel for an additional 4 days without any crazy occurrences happening, and you find yourself on the outskirts of Daggerford. This is a medium-sized town, nothing so large as like Waterdeep, for example, but certainly has shops and all of that kind of stuff. Is there anything in particular you're wanting to do in Daggerford, or just push on?
We would like to refill our water barrels with fresh water if we hadn't on the trail. Make sure that's replenished, and I still have 25 rations left.
Yeah. Can we get an idea of how much water out of the barrel we used in the 5 days? Can we like?
How many gallons does that hold again?
40 gallons.
I
But
would
we
So we
bought
got
say,
two horses, 5 people.
I'm just going to estimate here and say you did about 10% of the whole thing.
Okay.
So
I
it should
would
be
like to
good.
buy.
Refill anyway. Might as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy 5 more rations, Adam. So I'll just make it 6, so I can do easy math.
You can certainly do that, yep. Okay, and as far as refilling your water skin, your water barrel, just say 1 silver piece and it's maxed out again.
Kurtu has the silver. I have the gold.
I do have silver.
Yes, I know. I was listening to you.
How many silvers was it? I wasn't listening to the DM in the sky.
1.
Just a
One.
single.
A whole silver piece. Okay.
13,000 gold back home.
So is there like a particular tavern that maybe the locals like to frequent, and maybe we could get some rumors?
No. We anonymous, right? We just move right through. Refill, keep going.
Well, maybe
I thought that
Spectre
was the plan.
goes, because what if the redheaded dwarf went this way?
This
That
is far.
is a good point. We're here. We're restocking. It's gonna take a while. We might as well ask around a little bit.
Yeah, I guess, but we're really far away from Borscore Bridge. I mean, he may have not even come this way.
But that was like a month ago, right? When he was seen by the Harpers, so he easily could make it this way.
So remember, your information placed Verum at Borscar Bridge the day Dala gave you that info. It's about 30 days for you to get there.
Oh.
But at this
So there's
point,
no chance he would get here in that time.
if he's moving among normal transportation, no. Now, if for some reason he came through this way down to Boriscar Bridge and you asked, maybe someone remembers seeing him. But yeah, that would probably be at least 25 days ago if that was the case. So hard to say how relevant that would be.
Oh yeah, it's probably not worth the risk then, to being like, why are you guys asking such specific questions? Yeah.
The information she gave me after you guys left, I'm not going to tell you, but the best way I can put it is Verum is panicking, so his moves may be erratic. Does that make sense?
Oh, so is that part of the information that? Don't tell me too much information.
I just said I wasn't going to say too much. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. So, we have some good time, right? Based on what I know, I believe at least we have.
Well, then we trust you. What should we do? Should we just keep going, or sleep in our wagon, or ask around?
I think it's best to get as close as possible, as quick as possible, and then we can start asking questions.
Okay, sounds good. I agree.
All right, so you guys stopped, watered up, grabbed a bit of food, that sort of thing. So safe to assume that you guys have all exited the carriage at least at one point in time during this?
Yeah, although I don't think we should leave it unattended at any point.
No, I don't think I would. I'd have your servant do it.
He's not a servant, he's a driver. If anything happens to the driver, we're...
Well,
I don't mind staying with the cart the whole time.
Common second language. I will stay in cart.
Yeah, Rasmus will just lay on his bedroll, yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like, Gale, primarily you're watching the cart during all of this sort of refueling?
I'll be inside, yes.
Give me a blind check. Okay. All right. So, yes, you guys refuel, do all of that kind of thing, get into ready to go, and like basically get ready to head on, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, you guys know there's a good bit of travel between here and the next major settlement, which is Dragonspear. So, you guys start traveling away, and I would like everybody except for Gale to give me a blind check at this point.
We're over here. Okay. I have 21 passive perception. I don't know if that helps at all, but see what happens.
Okay, so Rasmus, roll me a d6. All right, so you guys travel about 4 hours outside of Daggerford. So that's going to be about 12 miles. So you get to approximately there, something like that. So you've moved beyond the city of Daggerford here, and you're making a decent pace. But you're realizing now, Rasmus, while you're in the carriage, you guys again chatting, you're trying to learn this language from Gale. You're doing what you can here to pass the time. It's a little bit boring here and there, but you realize now that since you left Daggerford, you had caught this strange scent. It's almost like a really light vanilla kind of scent. And you realize, like, after 4 hours of traveling, that this scent hasn't gone away. You kind of noticed it, but it didn't really make much sense to you. It was just maybe something in Daggerford. But over these 4 hours, you've kept checking it every now and again. It's at this point that this becomes prominent in your mind. Like, where did this scent come from?
Since myself and Gale stayed on the cart, can I like maybe give Kurtu and Spectre a sniff to see if I can see if it's on them?
Yeah, sure. Are you telling them this, or are you just kind of getting closer and sniffing their
What
clothes?
the fuck are you doing?
Shh, I smell something.
And now I
Okay.
smell my armpits.
Don't you, Gale? Stop.
What?
I haven't been able to bat the barrel. I should take it. I could fit in the barrel. Maybe I will take a barrel bath. Oh.
Look. Since
Point,
hang on. Look, 2 of you returned from Daggerford with the supplies, right? And I smell this smell, this scent. I can't stop smelling it. We've been traveling for a while now. It hasn't been with us the whole time. Trust the nose.
okay, would you like to describe the scent for us so we can maybe try to help you figure out what it is? Do we smell it now that he's like calling attention to it?
As you focus and take some time and try to smell, like you sniff, assuming he's describing to you that there's like this vanilla odor or something off, it takes you a little bit of time to kind of like pinpoint, but yes, you would eventually catch some notes of vanilla as well.
Like
Is the-
sugar cookies.
Are we still moving at him?
You are, yes.
Let's go ahead and stop and check. I just wonder if maybe that's some sort of a magic spell on us or something to track us.
Well, you're the
Um,
magician. Can you discover any magical effects that's in the area?
No, it's not invisible. It's not a fireball. So let's go ahead and stop the cart. Maybe they put it under our wagon. I don't know. Let's
We
check.
should have picked up a real spellcaster in Daggerford.
Can I
Yeah.
now that everybody's thinking about it and stuff, Adam? But can I still get a good whiff of Kurtu and Spectre? Can I smell it on them stronger in any way?
No.
It's not you two.
You're
I
not
don't
smelling
need
me.
that.
You get your little nose. You get your little goat nose away from me.
Part of
I
me is
know.
man.
I have a good idea. Maybe I change one of you into a beagle. They're good at smelling too.
Or maybe we stop the cart and we investigate without using resources that we need 30 days from now.
Yeah, I know, but Gail
It's just,
sounded like he needed.
it's just a smell. We can take like 20 minutes to figure out what's going on
Yeah,
here.
I just thought maybe Gail wanted to turn into a beagle. He was mean to me.
I'm gonna knock on the side with the driver and say, "Hey, driver, do you see anything?"
There's like a moment of silence, and then you hear nothing.
Maybe
You
it's in the
mind-
water we refilled.
You mind slowing down? Maybe pulling over? Something is off here.
Okay, so with this instruction to the driver, you see the carriage does start to slow down. It takes a little bit of effort. You hear whoa, whoa as he's pulling on the reins, but gently, just slowing the wagon or the carriage down at a very slow pace. And sure enough, you come to a stop.
All right. Well, if you think there's something fishy in the water, I'm going to pop open the water and I'll smell in there. Rasmus, do you smell water on the barrel? Because we refilled the barrel.
Well, like, now that we've slowed down and there's not as much going on, Adam, can I, like, take a second to, like, reaccustomize myself to the scent and see if I can trace it to the point where it's strongest?
Sure, give me a blind check survival.
Oh, nice. I'm proficient. Hopefully that just jinxed me, but I didn't know I was proficient.
Well, I am too.
You smell the water that Gale is proffering to you. You realize it's definitely not the water, and you can smell it seemingly coming strongest above you, and you realize it's coming from outside of the carriage, but likely on top of the carriage.
Okay, I'll climb up there and follow my nose.
You open the carriage door at that point and step out and start climbing along the back side of it and just kind of scanning around. You can see this is where all of the supplies are. So there's barrels, there's small crates, there's, tarps, there's all this different stuff. But yeah, it certainly seems to be coming from this direction. And you're just poking through, seeing if you can find where it's at.
Yeah. I guess, I don't mind using my hands. I don't find it to be, vanilla doesn't seem like a threatening sense to me. I know saying that out loud may not be the best thing, but I'll just start moving things around while I try to locate the smell.
Okay, so you pull back some of the more like cloth type things, and as you're pulling back one, you notice a face, and then you hear a voice right away that says, "Don't worry, I'm not a threat. I'm not a threat."
Get out.
He's a very pretty man.
You notice he seems to be dressed in fancy type attire, which you would prompt to be perhaps like nobleman's clothing. He does look to be on the younger side, though, and as he looks towards you with a little bit of squint, as the light is now, you realize, with this kind of like cloth over him, it was blocking his vision, and now it's kind of bright in his eyes as he looks towards you, and he puts his hands up and he says, "Come now, I'm no threat. Surely you don't mind if I just, join this travel down south."
Get off of our cart, and then maybe we can speak.
I'm going to walk up to him and sniff him and see if he smells like vanilla.
Are we all up there at this point, or does this like just?
I'm on the
So I'm
inside.
assuming Rasmus is the only one that's exited the carriage and has climbed on top. If somebody wants to also go out and do the same, you're certainly welcome to.
I'll wait till he gets down.
If I hear them talking, if I hear them talking to someone, right, and I don't recognize the voice, yeah,
You do,
I'm
yeah.
carriage, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if you exit the carriage, you would see him as well. If you're on the side, kind of looking up, you notice him. He's got his hands out towards you, Rasmus. He's trying to give you the impression, at least, that he's posing no threat. And you see him like trying to like sit up and straighten. Oh, and you see him kind of put a hand to his neck. Muscles are all quite tight at the moment. Please, just give me a moment. But perhaps if it makes you nervous, I could, pay to remain here.
Why?
Keep your hands where I can see them and get off our cart, and then we'll talk. That's where we're going with this. Hands up, off the cart.
And you notice he notices you come out now, Spectre, and he gives you a slight smile. "Oh, perhaps you would be more amenable to discussions, but,
Almost certainly.
Wrong
You can try.
person.
Yeah, that's the worst person to speak
Yeah,
to of all of us. Look,
That would be Gale.
As you say this, he looks and says, "Oh, come now, she looks more than reasonable. Look, quite wisdom in those eyes, I'm certain. Well, you see, I was just hoping to try..." And he's kind of like moving and slowly getting his bearings here at this point, and kind of
She's got her hand on her hip and just like staring him down, like, what the fuck is going on?
So he's sort of stretching once again and moving in different ways and looks up towards the sky. You see, we're a bit outside of the town now. Well, I just kind of hitched a ride there. You didn't notice me pop on, but I won't be any trouble to you whatsoever. And as I said, I'd be happy to compensate you for the trouble of allowing me to just stay here.
If you don't get off our cart, I'm going to break your nose.
And you see he looks towards you. Oh, come on now. Is violence really necessary?
If you don't get off the cart, it will be, yes. Just step off, and no one will hurt you.
You see he looks down towards you, Spectre. Are you certain, my lady, that I could not just remain here? I'm not harming anybody. I will get off if you say I must, but it just seems so unneeded.
Explain yourself. No one stows away just because. Why are you on our cart?
Trying to put some distance between Daggerford and myself, and...
I understand that, but why? Is the question I'm asking. What did you do? Why do you need to leave Daggerford?
Oh, well, family type of entanglement. I was just trying to make my father see the nature of my business is not really there. It's beyond, and I was hoping to get further south before he realized that I was gone. And, well, coming to a stop here, I would suggest we continue moving at a good pace.
Hearing that, Adam he's like leaned up and out of like tucked underneath the furs and stuff. Can
He
I
is
see
standing.
it? Yeah, does he have a bag on him? Is it a weapon on his hip? Can I give him a good little inspection?
You see a belt knife on his side. He is wearing just simple nobles type of clothing. He does have a backpack that is seemingly strapped across his back as he's standing. You see he kind of like puts it there. You presume he just was sitting next to it. I would say you also notice he has this fancy kind of ring on his left hand. You notice it's like a silverish ring that actually is a two-fingered ring. So think of it as, both fingers go into separate holes of the ring. The symbol on top of it you see is reminiscent of a shield. Do you happen to be proficient in Arcana?
Rasmus? No.
Okay, so you don't notice anything out of the ordinary about this. It's obviously some type of fancy ring just from its styling. But yeah, that's I would say about all you notice. Kind of typical traveling, but more fancy upscale type of attire.
Well, I'm gonna say, sir, I'm gonna say this the nicest way I can. If you do not remove yourself from our cart, I will leave you behind for your father's men to find you and do whatever that is that they plan to do to you. Okay? Get down.
You see he looks over towards you, Spectre, like seeing, like it's almost like longing look in his face, like, save me! And as he looks towards you, do you say anything?
No.
And you notice he finally realizing he's not getting any traction here. He sighs and says, okay, I will get down. And you see he climbs off to the side and climbs on the side of the carriage here and is on the ground and kind of just pats at his attire and looks down at his boots and then looks back up at you and says, so, now can we discuss perhaps me remaining a passenger?
Possibly.
It's not us that you speak to. We have a leader that you can speak to. Right, Spectre?
Well,
we have a leader?
Well,
leader's a strong word.
What
We
do you
voted
call
on it.
yourself then, my lady? Certainly you must be the leader of this group, regardless of what title you claim.
and at this point, no. Oh, okay, you said it. At this, but inside the carriage, I'm like holding Kurtu's shoulder and I'm going shh to kind of keep him inside. So, and then you say Kurtu out loud. So,
yeah, bring the little rat out here. He'll talk to him.
I'm gonna stay inside.
Yeah?
Your leader is a rat. How curious.
It's a figure of speech. I still want to know what your business is.
And a wonderful figure of speech it is. Quite wordy, in fact. Your language is just exquisite.
Uh-huh. Kurtu, get out here.
Hello? I am Kurtu the Dragon. Who are you, young sir?
You see he looks towards you and... Yeah. Oh, wow. Pardon me for stammering, but you're the leader?
Yeah.
Yes, the
surprised
best
me
way.
too.
The best way you can start this off is by hitching a free ride and then insulting the leader of the Fantastic Four. I don't think that was smart of you. What is your name? I have already told you. I am
Or
Kurtu.
Oh, well, it is, quite
That
nice.
you're gone.
Yes, of course. I'm not familiar with that, but it is quite nice to make your acquaintance, Kurtu. I am Ben.
Ben, it's very nice to meet you as well. Wait a second, it's not. Why were you storing yourself on our roof?
Well, as I was telling
I know you were hiding from the dragon family members or whatever, but why us and where are you going and why are you running away?
You see, he looks taken aback and actually does this almost melodramatic pause as he brings his hand up towards his chest. Dragon people? No, nothing of the sort. I'm trying to put some distance between my father and his people and holdings and estates and, well, get further south.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're not
And why
going
should we
anywhere
help
safe.
you?
Because I would pay you?
How much you got?
Oh,
Wait,
come now, my lady. You know that's not how these negotiations go, but I can tell you I'd be more than happy to pay you a fair rate to get me south. How far south exactly is it that you're going, if you don't mind me asking?
We do.
Perhaps you could just give me a roundabout idea?
Further down the road.
Well, that's the way I would like to go as well, my great friend Kurtu.
Oh. Well,
Don't
maybe
fall
we're
for
going.
it, Kutu. Don't fall for it, Kutu.
I must say, it is quite an accomplishment to be the leader of such a band of marvelous individuals such as these. If you've managed to pool them all together and take lead and make decisions for them,
Yes.
well, your skill set must be quite vast indeed.
Yes. I'm glad that you're wise as well, and you smell like vanilla.
Oh, well, yes, it is a perfume I've grown quite fond of.
If you plan on hiding, you should not smell like that. I've smelled you for quite a while now.
Well, to be honest, I hadn't intended to hide, but, opportunity and all that.
You didn't intend to hide, but you stowed away on our cart.
Well, I just tried to get some distance from Daggerford to the south, and, well, I didn't have a great plan, but I saw your carriage, and then I thought, well, I bet I could get on top of there without them seeing me. I have a little bit of skills up my sleeves as well, and sure enough, I was able to. And then you guys started going south, and I thought, wonderful, that's the direction I wish to go.
I'm sorry,
Wonderful
guys.
it is.
You still haven't really answered our question about why you want to put distance between your father and you. This is
Oh,
kind of an
it's-
important sticking point.
It's a family tale. I'm sure you've heard the story before. I wish it was as unique and impress you all, but I'm afraid it's actually quite dull. You see, my father has a quite different plan for my life than what I have, and, well, I don't want to follow his plan. You see, perhaps you've heard of Candlekeep to the south. Ultimately, that's where I would like to go, continue my studies, as it were. I don't want to just become some local administrator and, push coins and numbers on paper around. That's not the life for me.
So
I've
the
heard there's a
way
lot
that
of mysteries down there.
There are.
and so the way you wanted to start your manly new drive is by hiding from your daddy and getting in some other unexpected member's cart. That's how you
Oh.
wanted to man up, right?
Not quite start, I would say resume. I've already tried to get away multiple times, but, well, he always seems to find ways to encourage others to bring me back, so I'm hoping this time it will stick. I figure if I make myself enough trouble for him to keep bringing me back, maybe it will finally get to his head that words can't do that, but trouble and cost, those things he understands.
And
Hey, the next question I'm going to be asking him, I'm going to want to do a insight check on him.
Okay.
So, are you bringing danger to our group here by you being with us and stowing away?
You see he looks towards you and puts a hand towards his chin. I can't imagine. And he said, if I presume you mean from my father? No, of course not. He would just be sending these people to try to bring me back, assuming you did not just randomly attack them, then no, there'd be no danger. But as I said, if you move quickly, we can skip that whole nonsense and just move south.
Kurtu,
I want to
Hey.
check to see if I believe him, Adam.
You're not really sure.
hey, Kurtu,
Yes.
look at his ring. You know what that is?
Adam, I'll take a look at his ring.
You notice Ben kind of holds it up and actually flashes it for you and holds it prominently. Quite exquisite, is it not? Yes, if you're proficient in Arcana, you can make a check here. Blind check, though.
That's a good warm-up roll, Kurtu.
You don't. You don't.
My dad's
recognize
computer's
this
not
very
too
well?
bad.
Unfortunately, that's not the same on the blind check, but you don't recognize this very well. You can see it has these different symbols. If you had a chance to study it closely for a period of time, you might be able to make something of this, but on just like the flash he gives you, you eyeball it, nothing jumps out at you clearly as what this represents.
Yes, that is a nice ring, and I've seen a couple of them before, but the people I've seen them on were much older than you.
Oh, well, thank you for that compliment. That is quite gracious of you.
Hey, Ben. Look,
Yes, good sir.
if we give you any kind of passage, you have to understand that 1, we're not responsible for your life. 2, you do not get to take any of the money we make. And 3, the only way you can come with us is if you win a fight against one of us.
Oh, well, that seems quite
know about
crass
that.
and crude.
Why?
Look at him. He is crashing crude.
Okay, listen. Okay. Here's how we're gonna do this. You think that your father's not gonna fuck with us, right? So, but we also don't have any guarantee that you can pay us. So we don't know you from a hole in the ground, right? So we take you with us. We take that ring as collateral, and then when we get where we're going, you can have it back if you're able to pay us for the travel. How about that?
No, I'm afraid not. That is not negotiable. But how about I just give you some coins now? Passage to as far south as you're going can't be too pricey.
No, we are not a ferry service. Look,
I
me and you.
understand that, but I'm just asking you very nicely, and I'm hoping you'll be reasonable and realize I don't cause you any trouble. In fact, if you wish me to just be silent as a mouse and remain here, I can do just that. Or if you're interested in learning a great deal of many different things, I can offer my vast knowledge perhaps to you, if that is of interest to you, and all free of charge, of course. And in fact, as I said, I will pay you to just ferry me to the south.
Look, we get that, and that would be cool, right? But no one will trust you unless you go through our tryout. So,
I'm not
you can
exactly
fight
much
me.
of a fighter, to be honest. I mean, I don't like getting dirty and the physical contact and all of that. Surely there must be some other type of way of proving myself than just brutish battle.
Yes, there is. You can gamble. Can he gamble? You know how to gamble.
Oh, games of chance? Not really. If you explain the rules to me, then maybe.
So we stand in front of each other, and I punch you, and then you punch me. And then we keep going until one of us is unconscious. And the last one standing, well, they decide what the winner gets.
That sounds just like the first option.
This is all I know.
Yeah, Rasmus, that's not a very good one. You would knock him out in 2 hits. 1, you hit him. 2, he hits the ground. Come on, stop.
I feel like it's a reasonable tryout.
Well, as I said, the combat arts are not something that I'm particularly interested in. As I said, I am a student and trying to get back to Candlekeep. I do have some skill with the arcane, you might say, so I would be much more beneficial to you if I was on, helping you, of course, and I'm not even charging you anything for that. Quite knowledgeable, as I said, I could offer those services. Maybe there's something else. Fighting just seems so silly.
Knowledgeable about what?
Oh, well, I'm a student of
Help us out
history, and I also have studied the arcane, so could certainly help you there. I've lived in Daggerford for much of my life, so I can tell you about the local area.
We don't care about your shitty podunk town. We're on our way down south.
Well, that's good, because that's where I want to go as well.
And what are your thoughts on fireballs?
Fireball? Well, they're quite potent spell. As I said, I'm not much for the combat arts. I'm more about, protecting people. So, yes, fire's dangerous.
Are you sure you don't want to fight me?
What do you guys think?
Fighting
Did you
is
bring your own
beneath
food?
I'm sorry, you asked him what again?
Did you bring your own food and water and shit? We didn't plan
Yes,
for
I am
first.
prepared. You see he taps his backpack at his side, and then you see he looks at you a bit nervously. You're not going to try to take it now, are you?
Well,
Will you
we
let us
certainly
look
could.
inside? Yeah, well,
But-
if you're going to travel with us, I think we should be able to look inside and make sure you don't have nothing to use against us. You see, Ben, we're kind of,
He doesn't
This
need
is-
to know anything about what we're doing.
I just
We're
told
just
you I'm
traveling
a
this
student of the arcane. Of course, there's things I could use against you, but I'm not going to. You won't find anything in my backpack. I'd be happy to pull things out and show them to you, but I don't feel comfortable just giving you my backpack and letting you rummage through it. That seems
That's
like
fine.
such an
Hold-
invasion of privacy.
Hold it and show us what's inside of it. We won't touch it. We just want to know.
Sure, yes. And you see he kind of undoes the strap at a distance from you guys here, maybe 10 feet away or so. And you see he just kind of like pulls a ration out, pulls out some odds and ends things, nothing that looks to be dangerous. Traveling, you see like water skin, you see rations. You can see he's got a few different, what you would consume to be like tool sets. So think of this as like maybe some quills and inks and calligraphy, that kind of thing. He also has a few other odds and ends, like personal stuff.
Can I like make a perception check from this distance to see if there's anything he's like trying to hide? Like, is he like moving stuff around in such a way that it looks like he might be trying to conceal something that he doesn't want us to see at the bottom of it, or
You can
is he
make
like
a blind
ignorant?
insight check to see if he's intending to try to hide anything from you.
My roll 20 is frozen a little bit. Blind check.
You don't get that impression. You get the impression that he's trying to make as good of an impression upon you as he can.
He's got his own food. He's got his own water. I don't see the big problem. And if guys come looking for him, we can just kick him off the cart then. And he goes back to Daggerford and he tries again with someone else.
And he does seem pretty respectful. I mean, he knows he understands the way of things.
He understands the way of buttering you up.
I
You're
mean,
gonna-
He
excuse
smiles
me.
as you say you talk her to, and then as you talk Spectre, you see he looks to her and says, No, of course, but you all look quite capable. Look at you all. Look, I'm sure there's many stories you have to tell. You all look like miraculous people.
We're not telling you any stories.
no.
Oh, we
Hey,
could, though.
guys, we need to talk to Gale. Let's
Why
get
do we need to
inside.
talk to Gale?
just.
Oh,
we
another
we need.
lovely lady is part of your group inside the carriage. And you see he starts dusting his clothes once
He's-
again.
Yeah,
Just-
she's great.
We're going to talk about this, Ben, because, like I said, we have things we need to do, and we're not just going to agree to something without having a conversation. So you stay here. Driver, you keep your eye on him, yes?
Oh,
And
well, do you
Ben.
mind if I speak with your driver while you're inside? I can perhaps chat with him a
No.
bit. Oh, well, that's
No.
fine.
No.
I'll just wait
Rather
for you
just-
then. He
Ben,
kicks,
so
he kicks out the
far-
dirt.
Ben, so far you're doing okay. Don't go crazy now and start talking to the driver and people. I mean, my gosh, just mind your own business.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I'm gonna slide into the cart and wait for the other two.
Stay out
What the
and
hell
watch
is taking so long out there?
You heard us.
We cannot take a hitchhiker.
No,
That's
we are not.
smart.
Yeah, no, I don't care what he has on his fucking fingers. We're not taking a hitchhiker to a covert mission to find the cultist leader.
Let's just take
Who's
it.
who's Kurtu? Would you
Yes.
please let me have time to enunciate but this
I don't-
funny language?
What color
I don't
eyes are
have-
Gale's right now? I'm really
They're
curious.
about ready to turn midday is what
Oh, that's great.
So, like, why are we doing this? We're looking for one of the four, five of the mask holders, the worm speaker, and we're gonna chat with some guy because he has a funny ring finger on his hand. No, the answer is no.
Now listen, we've got about 20-something more days to go. Let's just take them down like 10 days, and then we'll be good with them. We'll drop them off in the
Wait.
next town.
Kurtu, look,
Yes?
he's been upfront about his use of arcane abilities. Look, what we're going up against, we cannot take no chances. What I know could be threatening to our group, right? Remember, what's her name? Dala or whatever. She said something about it, right? This kid, he may know divination magic. For all we know, he could be a cultist spy. We just never know. I think it's best to leave him here and just move on.
Finally,
We can't take no
voice of reason.
chances. He didn't want to fight me. That doesn't show me any strength of will. Get away and start a new life, right? If you wanted to run away and start a new life, you'd fight somebody to show your meaning behind it, right?
I just don't see what challenges it is if we just bring him to the next town.
Well, look, we've fall asleep. He uses a spell to contact his friends to sneak up behind us, rob us blind. Or he scries on us, or uses, what did you call it, Gale? Divination or something. I don't know.
Yes,
It's
yes.
elf
that's what-
magic.
Divination.
Stupid elf magic.
Spectre, what's your thoughts on this?
Vector's outside watching the fucking guy, making sure he's not talking to the driver like we told him not to.
Hand
He's
on your
not-
hip,
He's still
cocked.
smiling towards you and kind of like looking around, looks up and looks back at you, smiles again.
Driver, go.
Punch it.
I can catch up to you, by the way. I have cunning action dash now, so don't even fucking think about it.
So that's all I'm saying. Like, maybe if we didn't have a very important mission to take care of, we could pick him up. He could go with us, but it's too risky, especially with his arcane abilities. We don't know what he could
Well-
do or not do.
I just don't think it's very nice of us, right? But we could tell him we have COVID, right? And that he's not vaccinated. Just let him know. It's for his own safety.
No, we weren't nice. We avoided conflict the last time we were challenged at the river. We're avoiding this now because this is clearly, you have to understand, guys, we are trying to be covert. That's the path we chose with Dala. We must stay on that path and not stick our head out of the pee-pee hole.
Yes, if
Did
we
I say
change
that
course
right,
of...
Rasmus? Pee-pee?
No, but it's close. It's
Okay.
close. If we change our course and we decide to not be covert, I swear to God, I'm fighting somebody. But right now, I'm holding back my restraint, and I think it's smart of us to just stay with the Fantastic Four, as you said, go to.
They are. We were fantastic till we were mean to people.
You know, sometimes you have to, well, make sacrifices.
You believe this person? And
Kurt,
I'm
I
the
do
autumn
believe
one,
him.
and I don't believe him.
And Kurt too is just wondering if maybe, potentially the GM is giving us an NPC.
Oh gosh, how long have you played with Adam? Please, what are the probability of that? No, I'm just
Very high, actually.
kidding. No, yeah, of course that's going through our minds. But I in character choosing covert, I'm gonna stay covert.
Well, I'm not going to go against the group. If that's what you guys want to do, I will allow it. But I do
Spectre, what do you
agree.
think?
I do agree with Jordan's Spectre's magic words there that we should take him to the next town.
Out of character, I just don't want to leave this guy in the middle of nowhere in case this comes back to bite us later.
Okay,
So-
demon assassin, you don't have... Come on.
Excuse me. You don't
what
know
you
that
said.
yet. Your
No.
character died before you got the chance to reveal it.
Damn it.
Anyway,
I will say that Kurtu wants to do the right thing, and the right thing is to bring him to the next town.
we dragged him 4 hours out of town. Where is the next town? Do we know? Were we told on a map
It's
or something?
Dragon
You were told,
Spear.
you were told roughly the next major settlement.
It's like 80% of our journey is the next town.
I don't mean major town. I mean, there's got to be some kind of village or something we can
There
drop
are
him off.
villages and hamlets along the way, but you wouldn't know exactly where the next one would be from your current position.
I
And
think
let
we
me-
gotta... It's a
let me
2-2
address-
vote, though.
No, let me address the thing with Gertu. The good thing is this guy. You stop at a gas station. You have your station wagon, your family. You gas up. Everyone runs in and gets their Cheetos. They come back. Five hours down the road, your kid in the back says, "Hey, Dad, someone's in the trunk," right? You're gonna say, "Well, we might as well just take him the rest of the way." No, I'm in. The good thing is to kick that guy out because he trespassed into our car. He has no reason to be here. That the good thing is
and you
to
have
leave him
no
on the
idea.
road. Yeah.
No idea.
Imagine if that guy jumped in your car at a gas station. You're not gonna take him all the way to San Jose.
Okay, but imagine that your family is like a group of trained fucking spec ops assassins, and like, are you gonna give a
guess
shit
that's
about
valid.
some random guy you pick up at a gas station? Like, we could take this guy if we had to.
Yeah, but
I
the
think-
Spec Ops assassins are smart enough not to take those guys because they wouldn't allow a reasonable threat within their vicinity.
I think we tell him that he has until we get to the next village to prove himself useful to us, and
Oh
if
my
he doesn't,
God.
we drop him off in the village.
Look,
And
let's tell him
we
he
go on
has
our
to
way.
fight me. Let's do a 1-on-1, 1v1 me, bro.
He's
Right?
not gonna do
No.
that.
And if he survives,
No.
he can come with, and if not, we leave him behind and we just keep moving.
All right, Adam. Looks like we're at a 50-50. What do you want to do?
Are we doing rollies or something?
Rollies.
Yeah, one person rolls from each side, and whoever rolls higher is the final vote.
I mean, you
And I
guys
mean-
could, but it sounds like most of you guys are agreeing to just take him to the next village. Is that what I'm hearing?
No,
now
no.
it's 2 and 2.
I have
Oh, you're at
argued.
2 and 2. Okay.
I have argued in character and out of character that this guy trespassing in our vehicle is not the good thing to bring him to the next town.
Who's the other vote for that as well?
I agree, yeah. Me, myself.
Okay, got it. Okay, so if we've got 2 and 2, then yeah, why don't each of side just pick a roller and roll a d20, and whoever's higher, we'll say that person will go with that path.
Go ahead, Dylan.
Okay. Who am I going against?
Phil. Bill.
No, I've already rolled an 18.
Fine.
Oh no!
Stagner doesn't care that much about this.
Okay, so it sounds like the decision to take him to the next village wins the argument here. Or maybe you guys just get tired of arguing and decide, fine, we want to move on, right? So, yeah, all right, so you guys have that arrangement. Is there anything specific you want to do other than allowing him to remain on top of the cart until you find the next village or hamlet?
I still
No.
want like a material thing that he's gonna do for us. He,
Yeah, no,
he
I-
has
I
until we
don't
get
want-
there to
Yeah,
make
I was
himself
gonna say,
useful.
I don't want him out of our vision. He's not going to
Yeah,
ride on
he's
top
coming.
of the car.
He's not staying up in the supplies so he can root around and steal shit from us. He's coming down with us.
Well,
so
or
you invite
plant.
him into the carriage then? He seems like he'd be
No.
more than happy to do that.
No. He's not coming near me. He's not grabbing my hair. He's not grabbing a piece of my toenails. None of that. None of that scrying crap. He's staying up there.
I'll stay on top with him, Adam. I'm just saying, I'm not. Yeah, if I see him trying to do any kind of verbal components, I'm punching him in the mouth.
Okay, so it sounds like you want to stay on top with him and you're sitting really close to him.
Yeah, like face to face, like we're both cross-legged doing a intricate tantric session or something. Like I'm with him.
All right, fair enough. We'll say you're close by him. You know, you're not joined at the hip or whatnot, but there's not a whole lot of places to go on top of the carriage. So you're definitely very close. So, okay, we will assume that's the case as you guys continue making your way down the path. Based on session time here, guys, let's go ahead and take our 15-minute break and pick up on the other side.
Dang, it actually is 8 o'clock, isn't it?
A little bit after, actually. But yeah, we'll see everybody in 15.
See ya.
Alrighty, folks, we are into the second half of our session here. The group is still on the carriage and has agreed to take their new stowaway, Ben, with them as they travel south and look for a village or hamlet to potentially dump them off in.
Depends on if he proves himself useful. He has until then to wow us, and we're not easily impressed.
Fair enough. Yeah, so Rasmus, you agreed that you want to stay on top of the carriage as you guys resume your travel to the south, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, group, yes, the carriage begins moving once again. You notice Ben watching you pretty carefully, Rasmus. After about 20 minutes or so, as you guys are traveling, you can hear the wheels moving along this path, the horses moving and so forth. You see he looks and says, if you don't mind me saying, you look quite nervous, quite, well, just not comfortable. Is there anything I can do to put you more at ease?
Yes, you can not talk to me while we find you a nice village to hold up in.
Oh, well, I've been doing a whole lot of not talking this entire time I've been up here. I was hoping to chat, perhaps, but if that would make you more comfortable, I suppose, then, well, as they say, And he does this expression in a different language, which you recognize as Draconic.
The minute that he starts speaking it, I'm going to try to speak over him. No! Shh! Stop talking.
And you see he just shrugs his shoulders and resumes this smile and starts just looking around. All right, carriage continues moving. So let's see, I don't remember where we left off. I think we left off on Spectre, so Rasmus, D100, please.
Please let us get attacked by something out of my own fleet.
All right.
Just a nice casual fight.
Keeping your eyes peeled for any kind of village or hamlet along the side. You guys continue making some distance here. You travel for another 4 hours or so down the path. So you guys have been traveling for about 8 hours, realizing it's probably about time to wrap it up for the day. The sun is still out. However, in the distance, the driver here actually looks back towards you, Rasmus, and motions with his hand as he points further to the south.
Very slowly taking my gaze from Ben, I'm going to look in the direction the driver's pointing.
All right, so you stand up to look down that direction. You notice the path continues moving south here, more of like a dirt road at this point. You can see there is some rocks along the side of the path. Some are fairly large, others are more like pebble size or stone size. But maybe 100 yards or so south along the path, you notice a broken down wagon or carriage that looks similar to the one that you're in now. You can see one of the wheels is actually broken off of the axis and just axle lying nearby. You can see there's like an overturned crate, and this is right along a wood line or a line of trees to the east.
Stop, driver.
He nods, and you hear him once again just kind of whoa, whoa, as he pulls on the reins, and the carriage comes up short about 90 yards north of this overturned carriage.
Okay, Ben, get down. Off the top. Go on.
And you see he looks to the sides. You're not leaving me here. There's no hamlet or village that I see.
Get off the top, Ben. Please. I'm doing everything I can not to punch you. Please don't make me. Just get off.
Well, you said please. How could I not respect such a noble wish? Yes, of course. And you see he stands up once again, stretches, cracks his neck a bit, looks to the side, and starts making his way down, and then looks and he goes, oh, look, there's an overturned carriage down there.
No, you do not say anything more. Just stop talking and you stay here. Guys, and I'll, hoof on the top of the cart.
That's funny.
What?
Hey, hop out.
Okay. I hop out of the carriage.
Same.
Are we?
Same.
Is it time for us to stretch?
No, the driver pointed something out up ahead. It's almost time for us to pull over and camp for the evening anyways, but up ahead there's a wagon. It's broken right there by the tree line. It just seemed a little suspicious. Figured we'd stop and talk about it.
Can we see it from here, or is the light going down too fast to...
No, it's still bright out, so yeah, you can definitely make it out.
Well, why don't we get closer? I can barely see it with my Eldradian. No, actually, I can see it really well. Why are we so far away from it?
Well, here's my thought. That wheel is broken off the axle, but it's not muddy. There's been no storms, right?
I think it was attacked.
It could also run into a stone or something.
There are various stones throughout, yes, but where are the horses or the people?
That line of trees is a decent place for an ambush. I mean, not that I'm saying that that's what I would do if I were ambushing a cart, but if I were to ambush a cart, that would be a pretty...
Why don't you
All of us are just standing there nodding.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hi, Ben. What
This
are you
is
whistling about?
classic Spectre.
Is the cart like in the middle of the road? Like it looks like it's gonna block our path, or if we were to try, we're not gonna do it. But if we were to just keep moving, could we like get around it easily?
You could. Yeah, it's not blocking your path. It's actually about 15 feet off of the path.
But why don't we get closer and hail from the top and get a better assessment of the situation?
Do you want me to sneak around it? I'm kind of small. I bet I can hide in all this stuff on this side and sneak up to
No,
the
there's
cart.
no need to do. Just get into the car. Let's go.
No, look, if something like what our friendly assassin here said is an ambush, right? What if we lose our horses? We don't have backup horses.
They have horses. Look.
Yes, but that's being assumptive that there's horses around for us to pick up and use for our carriage. I say we keep the cart back here. Two of you go investigate, and one of us keeps an eye on old Benny here, and the other one
Why don't we
keeps an
take
eye
him
on our
with us?
companions.
Why don't
No.
we take him with us?
Let's just get a little closer so you guys don't have to move and then dash and then move and then finally get to us.
I can cover that distance in no time at all. Who do you think I am? We are not in close quarters anymore.
Well, let's get a little closer. Come on.
I'm gonna stay with Ben.
I'm going to stay outside of the cart, and
If you want to go forward with the cart, you go ahead and do it. That's a good idea, and we'll come up behind, just in case. So that way, if they throw a fireball at the cart, we're not in it.
No,
That's
they're
by
right.
the-
We shouldn't let the horses get.
By the way, too, if we could see them and it's an ambush, then there's very likely they could see us too.
Yep.
But I'm
And
short.
conspicuous out in the middle of the road.
I understand where you're at, Gil, but like I said, we do not have replacement horses, and it could be nothing. So what's the bad thing about a couple of you going up there and looking?
Because then we split the party.
And you're 90 feet away.
Yes, I can move 100 feet
Nothing
per turn.
bad.
You guys are currently 90 yards away. Keep that
90
in mind.
yards away.
Oh, yeah, no, come on. What are we doing? Let's
This
go.
is like at the edge of our vision. Let's move up to like 50 yards and reevaluate.
Let's go to the mid football
Okay.
field line.
If you're willing to get 90 feet away, I can put you on map. Otherwise,
do
you're
that.
off map.
I don't want the cart that close.
No.
Okay.
So let's leave the cart here and then approach on foot.
Okay.
And I also don't want to leave our sidekick / spy / whatever the fuck this guy is by himself with our driver, because he
Ben.
might do something tricky.
Who all is approaching that?
I will.
Look, I can move super fast. So how about you three and Ben go, and I'll stay with the cart just in case there's a secondary attack, something we need to worry about. I can move really quickly if I need to.
Okay,
Come on,
Ben.
we're investigating.
Come on, Ben. It is time for you to use your platinum tongue on something useful.
You
And
said you
see
were
he
smart.
smiles at you and says, "Oh, you're Gale? Not exactly what I thought you would look like, but a miraculous appearance nonetheless. Wow, how status quo."
I am emotionless in my expression, but I say use that flattery on those people on side of the road and figure out what the issue is. Go on. You should go first.
You want me to go first?
Yes,
Oh,
because you
No,
have
I
such a
want-
beautiful countenance and wonderful verbiage.
well, if you wish, yes, I don't mind approaching.
Great. I'll be right behind you.
Using the NPC as a shield.
He starts moving ahead, so I'm assuming Kurtu, Spectre, and Gale, you're all following close behind?
I am away, yeah, like maybe 20 feet back with my bow not necessarily drawn, but that is what I'm going for. If
So I'm going to do my best to not do off-map stuff. So if you want to be 20 feet, I'm happy to move him 20 feet forward and then put you at the edge of the map. So Kurtu, Spectre, are you staying with Kurtu and Gale, are you staying with Spectre or trying to be closer to Ben?
I'll be closer to Ben because I don't trust him. I will be 15 feet away from him.
And I am going to be more to the right or to the left, but a little bit back. Adam, just I don't want to be right next to these guys.
Okay, so I'm going to make an executive decision to say you're there. All right, so here's how you guys find yourself when you get to that location. Okay, so the cart is, or the carriage is off map because that is back quite a distance. The overturned wagon that you guys saw obviously is down here. And this is what you can see with the sort of the spilled out stuff. And yes, Ben is currently out in front.
Go on, hail them, Ben.
Oh, don't make any fucking noise.
Why
He
not?
looks back towards you as you're speaking and he says, I don't see anybody though. Who would we be hailing?
Okay, from here, what does it look like? Old crash?
From this distance, hard to say how old it is. It's turned over, flipped over. There is, this crate and stuff. So Rasmus, you're actually off screen. That's why you're not seeing anything yet, because you're a ways back.
I completely understand, Adam. I'm just voicing my disapproval.
Okay, fair enough.
You're the one who chose to stay behind.
I will totally ignore your disapproval and move on, but I appreciate that you noted that. All right, so yes, you don't. Yeah, as I mentioned, you don't see anything as far as like somebody to hail, but yeah, you'll notice Ben does indeed get closer.
Adam, I want to. What's to my left?
To your west is green grass. It's more like dry grass. Doesn't look like it's gotten much
Okay.
rain recently.
Is it tall or short?
Short. All right, and as you guys are moving and get to right about here, and you notice Ben looking towards the wagon itself, it's at this time that both Spectre and Gale, I would say you notice movement coming through the trees as these small shapes start moving towards you. Kurtu, based on your distance away, this is going to count as surprise for you as you're not able to determine the shapes to react quickly enough. So I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys into initiative.
What a surprise.
All right, and then let me make sure I got this sorted right. And then I'm going to change the music. Let's go with that one this time. Okay, so the first thing that occurs here is Gale, you will notice as a small shape rushes out from the tree cover, you recognize it to be a kobold. It rushes out, getting about to here. And as it does, you can see it has a sling in its hand, and it whips its sling around, shooting over towards Ben.
I look so curious at this little creature throwing a rock at us. What is going on?
All right, you notice that the rock that is fired off from the sling gets very close to Ben, but you see it hits something that's real close to his body and just falls down to the ground. Okay, Kurtu, would be your turn, but you are surprised, so that ends your turn. You're going to then notice additional shapes rushing out from the tree cover here. Gale, one comes out closer towards you here. And as it does, you see it actually rushes up close to get next to you, jabbing out with this dagger towards you. Defense roll, please. You manage to evade that attack.
Okay, and then I would use my reaction, please, for brace. If someone fails on an attack, I get to use my reaction to make an attack. It's a superiority die.
Sure, yeah, you can do that.
Do we have it? Yeah, we.
Your blade slashes out, connecting into this tiny kobold and slaying it instantly.
Yeah, so he comes at me and he tries to stab me. I move my arm, it goes underneath my armpit, and I just go chop, and I'll actually say, "What are you doing? Stop! Rasmus, we're under attack!" And then it's my turn, right?
Let's see. So no, not quite yet.
Okay, alright.
All right, so that one is slain, and then before your turn, some additional shapes emerge from the tree line. This one rushes up, but does not have an opportunity to swing at you yet. This one moves over to here, and with sling in hand, it's going to fire another stone over at Ben. This time, it seems as though the stone does indeed smack into Ben. All right, and he is wounded slightly, and then we move to Gale's turn.
Alright, I look completely bored, but I will swing at the little tiny dragon.
Don't taunt the DM. We don't know what's coming next.
That will certainly connect. And yes, once again, slashing through this little bean, and it just drops instantly.
Great. So saunter over this way, and I swing at this guy.
That will also connect. And that one is also slain instantly.
Be careful, Ben, they have rocks.
You see he looks towards you with this kind of odd expression as he nods, and you see he just motions with his hand over towards the kobold nearest to him. Oh, and I'm just realizing I didn't build this in for him, so 1 second, I'm just going to roll this to GM. All right, yes, you're going to notice as he just motions, you don't really see anything except for the kobold falling to the ground. He will then take a few steps back to here, and we move to Spectre's turn. Spectre, from where you're standing, you notice movement in the trees still, as additional shapes are getting closer to the tree line, but they're kind of faded through the different trees and branches and things that you can see. If you wish to take an attack at one in the tree line, you can certainly do so. Obviously, there'd be some cover.
Yeah, I got a billion arrows. Am I close enough in range with the short bow to make the shots? Or would it be
60
far away?
feet on a short bow?
80 feet, I think.
80? Yeah, you're in close range then, if it's 80.
Let me short bow. 8320.
8320. Yep.
Yep, you're good.
Oh, yeah, I'll go for it. Because this is the first round of combat, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah. So I will make shot number 1 at something I can see. That should certainly do it.
It does indeed. Yes.
Probably not. Well, it's sneak attack as well, because because it's just a crit, not advantage. Never mind.
So the first arrow flies out, hits into what appears to be another kobold, and it dies right at the tree line as your arrow hits it. Now that's your first attack, so that is that the one that has the extra force damage on it?
It's the last one that does.
The last one, okay.
Yeah. So do I see others?
You do, yes.
Okay, I will make 2 more shots at... Well, we'll do one at a time in case they drop. That probably misses.
That does miss, yes.
Number 2.
That will connect.
Okay, so 9 plus the 1d8 force.
As you notice another kobold right at the edge of the tree line as it's trying to emerge towards you, struck by an arrow and slain.
And then I will kite back, because I don't know. Can I get a general idea of how many there are? Or they're like...
Many.
Okay. Then I will fall back. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and kind of duck behind this rock. How big is this rock?
About 5 feet off the ground, maybe a little bit less than that. If you stand perfectly up, I would say you have like 3/4 cover.
Sure. I'll good enough.
Okay,
Hey,
before the top of the round, let me finish off these two, and then we can check to see what you're doing off screen there, Rasmus.
Okay, cool.
See, Gale, you'll notice a new figure, one that you haven't seen before, or at least style or shape, emerges from the tree line, rushing up towards you. This one you recognize as a lizard folk. And as it rushes up, getting next to you, you notice that it first swings out with this heavy club towards you. I'll need a defensive roll. You manage to evade that, and you see it's holding this shield in hand that has a spike on the edge of it, or on the face of it, and it just slams it right towards you, trying to pierce you with that spike. Another defensive roll. Yes, you managed to evade that as well. Okay, so that's the end of the first round, so we'll pause there for a moment and say, Rasmus, you're still back with the carriage, which is quite a distance away. I would say from this distance, you heard shouting, that kind of thing. Give me an idea of what you're doing.
Yeah, so, I heard Gale probably yell my name, and then obviously I can, if I can...
said, Rasmus, we're under attack.
If I don't know if I heard under attack, but I would probably make out that, they shouted, and then, I could hear fighting noises. So I'll look down at the driver and I'll say, okay, I'm going to go help them out. If anything approaches you, you approach us as fast as you can. You got it?
He nods.
Okay, so then I'll just leap off, and then whenever my turn gets around, I'm just going to dash and then use a step of the wind as a key point. And so that would take
your
me
total movement in a single round.
150 feet.
Okay, so 150, and you were 270 back, so you're 120 back now. So I'm going to put you on the map, but you're still 120 off.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I thought we said we moved up to 50 yards away. Did that not happen?
I know you guys said that was one of your options, but then I thought the discussion occurred to keep this distance back to make sure the horses weren't within risk.
I was under the impression I was 90 yards away, so we can just keep it at that, because that's what I thought as well, so that's cool with me.
Okay, so we will move to the top of the next round. Now, one moment. Let me clear anybody who's not alive any longer. All right, so as you see more movement in the trees, think of this as beings getting a bit closer. Okay, and you definitely notice some additional shapes now, aka adding some units to the initiative. Okay, so I think I've got everybody, and let me just double check, make sure we're sorted. We are. Okay, Kurtu, you are the top of the initiative, and now you can act.
All right, Adam, is it one of those I can only see what I see on screen?
Yes, so you know vaguely that there's additional shapes in the tree line, but obviously, as you can see, that's almost 90 feet away from you. So they're not necessarily right here. There's, further back, and they're moving in this direction. So you can see vague shapes, but yeah, you can't pinpoint exact spots.
Okay, I'm going to go right there. And I'm going to cast Firebolt in a second, but first I'm going to go give a little bit of a warning.
I am Kurtu, the Dragon of Acastria, the famous golden dragon. You would be wise to leave me and my party members alone.
There goes our covert op.
All right, you call this out loudly, and you don't notice any immediate reaction as your voice carries over the battlefield. And who are you targeting with this?
Sorry, the lizard dude.
Okay, your firebolt right flies out and does indeed connect with that lizard dude. Go ahead and post damage. All right, yes, as that firebolt hits him, he is consumed by the flames and crashes to the ground.
All right, that's going to end my turn.
Okay, before Gale's turn. Gale, you're going to notice there's additional shapes emerging from the tree line. The first one turns his way around the cart, gets up close to you here, and he is going to try to stab out. Defense roll, please. All right, that will count as a fumble for him, so melee fumble, please. Okay, he is, yes, lacks confidence for sure.
Kind of standard fare for kobolds.
I would say so, yes. All right, next guy emerges from the tree line as well.
I'm bracing again.
Your turn hasn't come back around yet, so you don't have your reaction.
Oh, yeah, you're so smart. Best DM ever.
So this
is why he makes the big bucks.
Right. This one is going to charge up, getting next to you here, Gale, and he will also stab you, or attempt to. You notice when he attempts to stab you, he works in conjunction with the other one, making it a little bit easier to hit you, but you still manage to evade that attack. Okay, and now it is Gale's turn.
This is stupid, guys. This is a famboozle. Get back to the cart. These are level 1 people trying to kick us. This is the trap. Move back.
Oh well, if you think you've got, I think if you got it handled, see you later.
Yes,
Have
leave.
fun.
Go take care of the thing. And actually gonna not disengage, Adam. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I gotta think about that cart.
Did we see anything along the way here that would make they could conceivably hide on the side of the road and like go to our cart?
I mean, there's
are
the
we on
tree
open
line.
point?
If they were rushing along,
No,
the
I mean
tree line,
back where the cart is.
I mean, I'm going to say yes because that's so vague, right? So somewhere between here and there, 270 feet away, is there some areas they could hide? Certainly. If you're wondering something like really large that could hide like a huge group of them, no.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's fine.
So Gale, as you step away, you said you're not disengaging, so you just stepped away. So you're going to take 2 opportunity attacks. So the first one from the guy to the north. Okay, so that will be... Okay, so you rolled 3 defensive rolls?
No, it was defensive roll for the first attack. So my 2 is a 19 and then an 11.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so the first one then will miss. The second one, he has disadvantage, but then he has advantage from pack tactics, so that works out to a regular attack. So that will be considered a crit against you. So piercing crit. Okay, so roll damage twice and use the higher result. All right.
Now, I can't wait to listen to this video again and hear just how Gale said that these were losers.
As I get hit with 4 points of damage. Let's go.
Also, Brian, a little metagaming. He said he didn't want to do anything off map, so the cart's fine.
That's good.
4 damage to Gale as you step away and take that lunge and thrust.
I don't even flinch.
It's funny that he called the 4.
Okay, yeah, I did call
That's
it.
funny,
Okay, so
that's
I
funny.
just moved back and I said, "Get to the cart. This is a trap." Because why aren't they running away from us? They would all.
But we
flee.
still gotta go
So I
down
have
this
my
way.
I have my shield and I'm in dodge position here, Adam, as my action, and I'm telling you guys, get behind me. That's all I'm doing.
Okay. All right, next one, Rush is getting a little bit closer, and he is going to fire a sling off at Ben. And that will miss. All right, Ben, hearing what you're saying, he will take a step back as well. And when he does, he will once again motion with his hand. I still got to update that. This will also hit into the little kobold, and once again, you will notice this kobold drops. And we move to Spectre's turn.
Alright, this is dumb, but Gale's got a bug up his ass about it, so I guess I'll follow his lead. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Shoot this guy.
Yes,
Surely.
that will connect. Now that says longbow. Did you say you were using a short bow?
Yes. So +1 to the attack roll. Do you want me to reroll damage? The shortbow has a +9 because it's a +1.
You just roll me a 6-sider because what's your damage add?
+4.
Yeah. Okay. So without sneak attack, there is a possibility on this one that he could live. He lives.
Well, he lives. Very good. Good for him.
Arrow hits
Oh.
him and he is wounded.
That's embarrassing. So second shot at this guy then. I'll leave. He's gonna run away. And that was a warning shot. Second shot at the guy with disadvantage there. Short bow.
That will
Maybe
also
not.
hit. And that
And
is
on that
enough to
asshole.
kill him.
Oh, by the way, are we factoring in the damage from the +1 short bow when I rolled the 1? So it would be +5.
So you did 6 damage instead of 5?
I think
Yes,
the
because
+1
the bow is a
added.
+1 short bow.
He is still alive, but 1 less HP.
I
Suck
think
a
it
dick.
looks like it's added though.
Is it? Well, I did.
When I hover over it, it says magic 5 + 4 + 1.
Yeah, he's talking about it when he just rolled
I'm talking about the
flat
first
D6.
shot. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I have 15 more feet of movement and more if I dash, but I don't feel the need to dash here. So, boom, boom, boom. I'm done.
Okay, now before that one's turn, another figure rushes out from the tree line. Rushing across the path. And a couple more do the same. He is going to shoot a sling stone at you here, Gale. Defensive roll advantage. You manage to raise your shield and easily deflect that.
Flippantly.
He's- He said, "Be careful, they have rocks."
We've fought like 2 dragons. Seriously? This is a trap.
All right, that one is
Maybe
slain.
there's just so many of them. He's
That
trying to
one's
make
slain.
us use our AoE.
It's like Gears of War when you used to have to do the waves, you know?
Okay, we move to... Okay, so we would technically be on Rasmus at this point at the end of the round. You're 120 off. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm going to use my movement for 50, and then I was going to use my bonus action, do another step of the wind for 50, and while I was moving, I wanted to, like, let's say last turn, I interacted with the object to pull out my javelin, and then this turn I'm just running with my javelin up, so if I move 100 feet, where would that
You're
put
still
me in
20
terms of...
off map.
20 off map? Okay, so... Okay, so when I get to that point, I'm gonna like leap a good like 10 feet, and then when I land, I'm gonna launch the javelin at the lizard folk that's by Kurtu. So
By
I believe
Gale?
that,
Oh, but down here. Okay.
yeah, by Kurtu. So that's 70 feet. Yeah, 70 feet plus 20, that's 90 feet plus... Yeah, so 90 feet, and that's just within that javelin's disadvantage range.
Okay, yep.
So I'm going to do a hero point with it, because it's at disadvantage. Nice. Alright, here we go. Javelin.
That will certainly hit.
Nice shot.
You guys just hear him screaming, "Yes! Yes! I want to fight!"
All right, the javelin sails through the air, strikes the lizard folk in the shoulder, and you hear this guttural growl in response there, Kurtu. I've now added you to the initiative, Rasmus. Rolled that initiative for you. That unfortunately that did put you at the bottom of the initiative. But once
How
you
fitting.
get to your turn, you are 20 feet off, but then you're acting in normal turn order. Okay, so we are at the top of the turn initiative at this point. Was there anything, Rasmus, you were doing other than move, and throw?
No, because he plans to use this new tattoo he's got, so he's not drawing another weapon. He's just going to come in flying fist.
Okay, so we are at the top of the initiative order, so let me just take care of a couple real quick things. Alright, there's one guy that's actually faster than Kurtu now.
Not for long.
Alright, Gale, you're going to notice as another lizard folk rushes out from the tree line, putting you into a flank position. And then we move to Kurtu's turn.
I look impressed with their tactics.
All right, I'm going to aim at the lizard folk that's closest to me that's wounded. And I'm going to say,
I gave you a warning.
Closest to you. Okay, yep. Go ahead and post damage. Yes, that firebolt will incinerate him as well as he crashes to the ground.
I'll go there and I'll end my turn. And
There is still hope for you all to live. The mighty Kurtu is going to fire more fireballs at you if you don't cease your attacks.
All right, you guys notice as additional shapes emerge in the tree line here. Okay, that one is slain. This one, he's going to get to here and also shoot a sling stone at you, Gale. So defense roll at advantage. Okay, that will miss. Same thing with this one.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, go ahead and do a range.
dang.
Someone goes, that dude.
Nice. All right, so go ahead and roll me a d20, and we'll take the inverse, so you want high. Okay, so that's a 1,
Whoa.
which means he fails that save. Roll me a d6.
That's
3
three.
20s in a row.
Can we just say he's dead on his own accord?
Oh my god.
dang.
Take a
Dang.
screenshot, yo.
He falls over, smacks his head into a rock, and dies.
Yeah, well, you just got to, Adam.
It's a kobold. It's so yeah, I definitely did.
Exactly.
All right.
Disgusting.
And I would love to give. I know that you don't give inspiration for dice roll, but my gosh, if you did, that would deserve one.
Yeah, you
lot
definitely gotta
of
help
green.
amazing dice rolls by making it easier to get good dice rolls. Come on.
That's right. That's right.
All right, Gale, you notice another kobold with sling in hand. He's going to fling a stone at you as well. This one will also miss. And we are back to Gale's turn.
What a
All right.
monster.
I do not like you behind my back. I'm going to turn around and attack the one that's closest to Spectre, so to the top of the screen.
North, okay. That will connect as you get past the creature's shield, wounding him.
And I look surprised.
Oh
Oh!
my god.
That one will also hit. Go and give us a slashing crit.
Save
Wow.
some for the hard one. For the hard part.
True crit. Go ahead and post your damage.
If he doesn't get another crit for the rest of the campaign, we know why.
That
We'll
blade
take the
punctures
gods.
right through the lizard folk's chest, and he expires on your blade.
Maybe Gale does have this. Guys, you want to go play chess?
I'm going to stand there, and I am shocked that they are not fleeing from this battle. And I'm going to say to the lizard guy, why aren't you fleeing from us? Run for your lives.
From very far away, you hear, "Don't kill them all!"
Yeah. Well,
You're saying this in common?
yeah.
He just growls at you.
In my best comment.
Which is basically dragonic.
I think, you know what? I lost my end turn. Oh, there it is. I'm losing focus. Okay, boom, boom, boom.
All right, this one hit by an arrow by a 9th level character, but somehow surviving, takes that as great evidence that he is not prepared for this battle, and he is taken off.
I did it on purpose. You gotta leave one to, spread your legend.
Your
Yeah,
plan has absolutely worked. Okay, so I think I finally got this built in, so let me make sure. Set this to the right thing. All right, so yes, you're going to notice once again as Ben just sort of motions with his hand, and you will not really see anything as he gets nearby that lizard folk, but does indeed connect with him and wounds him. He will then continue making his way backwards.
Oh, I noticed that he helped me.
He did indeed, yes, as we move to Spectre's turn.
I'm shooting the same target, the guy below Gale.
Okay.
This time I do get sneak attack if it hits. Surely.
Yes, that hits. And that will actually slay him on the dot.
Nice. Second shot at, I guess, this guy.
Another best day ever for you, right?
It's starting to lose its luster, Maybe if some of them were casters, had a little, pointy hat, maybe a little sorcerer.
You mean them? You want them to have a Dragoran too?
And I'm sorry,
Good
which
target.
one was that?
This guy.
Okay, yes, that will hit him. 8 points of damage will also kill this kobold.
Alright. And I'll back up a bit more because I see Rasmus coming. He's going to probably take my spot in the marching order here. 5, 10, 15, 20. And I'll stay right here just so that Adam is happy with me for not trying to...
Moving off map, appreciate
Yep.
it.
I live to please.
Okay, remind me to tell you guys something right at the end of this session, not related to this at all, but a weird thing that just happened. But yeah, this kobold will rush forward. He's going to actually come up with his dagger, getting up next to Gale.
See the pile of bodies we've made in the span of 15 seconds.
Yes, and
Gotta hand it to him.
you are kind of surprised that they do not seem to be particularly afraid at this point. Rushes forth. He will also shoot a sling at you, Gale. You manage to evade that as well. This one will head up to here and attack you twice. 2 defensive rolls. The second one will manage to connect against you. I hate how the default on these is always posting to GM. But here comes that spike shield damage, 4 points of piercing. This one rushes over, hopping over the bodies of the fallen. That one is one of the fallen, as is that one. Okay, Rasmus, 20 feet off screen.
Okay, so I'll move 20 feet of my 50 movement to get on screen here. Can I pick my entry point, Adam? Where on this map I would be running up to? Here versus...
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm going to come down the center on the road here, and you guys see dirt flying up all around him. And let's see. He can get to here on his turn with his movement. Yeah, I can get key back on short rest, so I'm gonna burn one more key at him and do another step of the wind, and I'm gonna come for this guy over here beside Gale, and with my fist, which now with my Eldritch Claw tattoo has a +1 on all my unarmed strikes, I'm just going to start like a boxing match with this guy in front of me, and I'm gonna try to give him like a little 2-piece in the mouth. So first attack, I think he ducks, right?
Did we lose boss?
Adam, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Yep, nope, sorry about that. So the 11 will miss.
Okay, cool. And then second attack.
All right, 16 on that one to your south. That will connect.
Cool.
Okay, you smash into him, wounding him.
Yeah, and I already used my bonus action, so I can't take any more extra attacks. Just double check. Yep, so as of right now, I could just throw those 2 punches, so I just kind of punch him, and then I look at him, and I see he's kind of lizardy like a dragon, and I want to try out some of my new Draconic on him, Adam. I'm at 30% right now, so it's going to be up in the air, but I'm going to try to say, your mother is as ugly as you are.
And Gale, you hear something along the lines of mother, self, over there. All right, top of the round before Kurtu's turn, we hear. Kurtu's turn.
Oh, did we hear that when we're in the water deep?
There's a boat coming.
Adam, how did that sound like it was far away or closer towards our group, or was that just a big giant horn for dragons kind of thing?
Sounded like it was not right on top of you and obviously coming from the east.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and firebolt the wounded lizard dude. Oh, look, it's
Whoa,
almost
there's Bill.
as good as those 2 green ones that you rolled.
Let's see
And that one still gets you a 12. That's pretty funny.
Let us see that spellcast fumble. Maybe it'll be that one that blows up your allies right next to the target.
Yeah, let me see if I can. I'm having a hard time finding on my screen. One moment.
Oh, you know me. I'll happily roll it for you if you want.
That is classic Bill right there.
There
Isn't
you
it?
go. It's in the bar. The problem is my dad's got all these hooked up with very high. Yeah, Adam, could you go ahead and roll that for me?
I sure can, but all blame goes to Bill on this one.
Understood. It's better than me trying to mess with his system.
You are just embarrassed.
That was a warning shot. If you try to hurt my friends, there'll be more of that. But
That
next
doesn't
time it'll
sound-
hit.
That doesn't sound embarrassed.
Negative inspiration. Didn't role play
Yeah.
the embarrassment well enough.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end my turn there.
Oh, whoops! That was an accident.
All right. You will notice, Gale, Rasmus, those of you closest, this kobold is going to rush back into the woods. As does this one. Gale, your turn.
Okay, free action. Sheath my sword, and I'm going to attempt to grapple the kobold.
Okay.
So that will be a strength thing.
You will make an athletics check, and yes, you will manage to grapple him.
Great. Now I'm going to drag this little creature with me 5, 10, 15, half my movement this way. And I'll get an opportunity attack if you wish.
No.
Okay, and then from there, that will be my turn. I can't do a second attack to... No, I can't do that. Yep.
You can make a second attack after you grapple.
But, yeah, then I'll do that with unarmed strike, because I don't have a weapon with me. So, yeah, I'll take
Kind
a...
of counted as almost like a shield bash here.
Yeah, something like that. So I'll do that. What do you want me to roll for that?
Just yeah, you could just do unarmed. We're giving you the benefit of the doubt that you can like use that arm.
So I'll do a d20 and see if it hits, kind
Yeah,
of thing.
you can do that if you don't have unarmed built in. You probably don't.
Oh
Yeah,
my
what
god.
do you know? It hits. All right.
No.
So, what is your strength score?
18, so plus 4 on that strength.
Okay, roll me a bludgeoning crit.
Oh god, did I kill this guy at accident?
Non-lethal, right?
Well, he didn't declare that.
I
So
didn't declare it. I didn't think I'd kill him.
you basically smash him with the shield, and his neck cracks backwards, and he is just slain instantly.
I'm like, damn it! That's a good classic Gale. I sigh and end my turn.
All right, Ben will look towards the one south of Rasmus here, once again motioning with his hand. However, this time it does not connect as the lizard folk sees whatever this is that you guys don't even see and backs away just momentarily. Spectre.
I can't do non-lethal with ranged attacks.
No.
So I'm just going to bounce over here. Do I have a clear shot at this guy?
From where you're currently at?
Yeah,
Yes.
I take the shot. I nat one it.
Nice. Ranged fumble. You are also embarrassed.
Second attack at the same guy. There we go.
Okay,
That's better.
that clears up any embarrassment. Yeah, let's see a piercing crit.
Critical hit.
Maybe not.
Yeah, you know. That's okay. So 9 plus 2.
All right, that will be enough to slay the lizard folk as it catches him in the throat.
Does it look like they're all turning and running?
It does.
Okay. Can I use a bonus action, I guess, to look back at our cart and see if it's still fine? We could see this cart from where we left it, so I think I can still see our cart, right?
You don't need to use any kind of action. You look backward, see the driver is still sitting there, his eyes obviously peeled towards the east to the tree line, but you don't see them under any threat or danger.
Alright, he's still chilling, so I'm gonna start... I won't leave the map, but I'll start heading back that direction, because it looks like this is about to be over for now. So I'll just back up 10 feet and see what happens.
Okay. All right, that one is slain. This one books it for the trees. That one is slain. This one also books it for the trees. Okay, Rasmus. All obvious enemies are slain. You can definitely see forms moving through the tree line. You can certainly choose to charge if you wish. Obviously, that's going to take you off map and into... You're not sure how many are there, but you can see a lot of different forms filtering through the trees. What would you like to do?
We still have to come this way with the cart. So, I'm just gonna say, guys, I'll wait right here and go get the cart. If they come back out, I'm going to mess them up.
I'm gonna say our cart has probably been robbed. That's what happened.
I told the driver, if anything comes out of the woods, to immediately come to us. If he is not moving, then there's no problem.
I looked back, he's fine.
So I'm gonna move to like here, and yeah, I can hold movement, right, Adam? I can hold a dash action. Yeah. If I see anything coming towards the tree line, I'm gonna close the distance between like a kobold or a lizard folk. If anything comes to that tree line, I'm gonna close the distance if I can.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so we're at the top of the round. The enemies are predominantly gone, so I'm going to make executive decision here to end combat. You guys can now move as you like. Again, the enemies are rushing away as fast as they can. You can hear the sound of a lot of different yips and other, sort of shouting and things, but it's getting fainter as the beings get further away from you.
Are those yips in Draconic, or are they unintelligible?
They're Draconic, but they're kind of far away at this point. It mostly is sounds of fear and like stumbling over things and shouting out curses as they're trying to get away.
Well, that's
We're
a good
fine.
sign. Okay, so I'm
Let's just
gonna
not
run
set
up
up
to the cart and say, "Come here, get over here."
Let's just not set up camp right here.
The
Let's push on a
driver
little.
looks towards you, Gale, and he says, "You want me to get closer to you? Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?"
get over here.
He snaps the reins, and you notice the horses start picking up and moving towards you.
I'm gonna run up to the cart and see if it's been ransacked or searched the cart. I think this was a trap.
It looks completely fine. Driver not depicted here, but you see no issues with the cart. It looks just like you left it.
Adam, I'm checking out the cart down below.
Okay, yeah, so you're poking around, seeing if there's anything of interest there. Go ahead and give me a blind check.
Yeah, checking to see if there's peoples.
You do not see any people here, Kurtu. You notice that this cart has been ransacked, so you can see things that are spilled out. There is some debris and odds and ends. You get the strong suspicion that whatever goods were here have already been taken at some point earlier in the day, or maybe even before that.
Fair enough.
I'm just gonna go around to the dead bodies, Adam, and I'm just gonna search them, see what they got on them, start collecting stuff in a pile.
You get a whole bunch of daggers. You're going to find some heavy clubs, some spike shields, some javelins, and let's see, I'll do a quick coin count. All right, you guys managed to slay 17 by my count.
Did we level up to 10?
No.
Not for this.
I was just having fun.
You get 155 copper and 94 silver pieces.
Let's see, 17 kobolds would be 50 experience points each.
Up in the cart and
Actually, they're only 25, by the way.
Yeah.
hop in the
25.
cart and double time it before they bring more friends.
Okay, so you guys want to make your way back to the cart and then just try to resume your travel quickly?
Yes, and as I
can we-
go in, I'm gonna look around for something planted in here, Adam. I am adamant. Like, you guys see me, and I'm like, why? What happened there? There's, as Leroy says, there's something fishy in the meat sauce. So I'm just going to look and see if someone planted something. I'm getting a little paranoid, maybe.
All right.
I'm gonna look for something odd there that wasn't there before.
But you're not holding up travel, right? You're trying to move
inside.
quickly. And okay, so
Yep.
Ben will resume his position on top of the cart. Rasmus, are you doing the same?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with Benny Boy.
All right, so not that this should be too critical, but yes. All right, so you guys all get together. You would have spent, searching all these bodies and things. I would say an additional 10 minutes here, just looking through pockets, looking through the cart, all that kind of stuff. The sounds from the tree line have faded for the most part before you guys resume your travel. And let's see, Gale, you can go ahead and give me a blind check as you're trying to search the interior of the carriage carefully. Doesn't look like anything in here has been disturbed. Up on top of the cart, Rasmus, you notice Ben resumes his position. He looks towards you and he says, My, that was exciting, wasn't it? Wow, so many of them. How strange. I didn't expect that many of them, but you guys are really good at this. Yeah, each one of them just died almost instantly. I don't think I saw one of them survive a hit.
I think he didn't. He wasn't watching me.
You just used all of your words you're allowed to use before we stop again.
He
I
looks
hope
at
you
you
enjoyed
and
that.
he kind of winces a little bit and he's like, well, there was one other thing I was going to say real quick. Can I just
Nope.
say it real quick?
No,
Yes.
Yes, let him say it.
you're in the cart. Shh.
I can hear you. You guys are
killed-
quiet.
He killed a couple. He's earned the right to say something.
If you speak any spell components, I will punch you in the mouth.
No,
You understand me, Ben?
I wasn't doing that. What I was going to say, though, is I could have actually protected Gale a little bit, but I was worried that he was going to get nervous, so I didn't do it. But next time, if there's another battle, I'll do it as long as you're okay with it.
We'll see. I don't trust you, Ben.
That's unfortunate.
No, you put yourself in my hooves. You were lying on the top of my cart, hidden, and we can't really take your word for value. I mean, you didn't even tell us your last name. We don't know who your father is.
You didn't ask.
Usually people give that, right?
Not when
Gail
they're
came out
trying to
that,
hide from their father, they don't.
yes, this is where the problem... See, no, this is why we're not talking. Shh.
He kind of shrugs and then he moves his head a little bit over towards the carriage side, and he's like, "You guys did really good in there. That was amazing to watch. Wow."
Ben, you did very good too. For the little bit you did wonderful. You did good.
Oh, well, thanks. I don't really get in many fights. Oh, and he looks back towards the restaurants and he starts whispering, "I don't really get into many fights, but that was exciting."
He took a stone to the head. Do we get an impression of like how badly that hurt him? Is like he mostly fine?
Yes.
Okay. Just trying to see if we're having to protect a commoner, but yeah, he's okay.
All right. Yeah. So you guys resume your travel. You travel for, let's see, I know you guys were near the end and getting ready to do a rest. So you said you didn't want to rest, obviously, right here. Makes sense. You want to travel for an additional hour, 2 hours. How far do you want to put between you and the battle before you try to find a place to camp?
I think an hour would be okay.
Yeah, can we get an impression of like how big this forest is, or like are we looking at this thing over here, or
No. It's not a forest. You were looking at a tree line, so pretty. I would say maybe you can't see the other side of it, obviously, but you know it's not some massive forest.
Okay. I just want to get away from wherever it is they were running to, because I had a feeling that if we stick around too close, they might come back at night to try to get revenge for their buddies. So let's do another hour and see where we're at then.
Okay, so 1 hour is 3 miles, which is barely a blip on this. I'm going to do that. But yes, you guys travel for about another hour, and you notice the driver now starting to look back, and he says, "The horses are looking like they're ready for a rest."
Yeah. Can I get a good scan around, Adam? Does it?
Hey, I wanted to say
on top.
during the carriage, I want to take a short rest.
Yeah, you could do
burn
that.
Yeah, just gonna burn that. Okay, go ahead, guys.
Can I just take a second to peer around after the driver says that? I mean, is it nice and open? Are we still by the tree line? Does it seem reasonable for us to pull over and camp here and it be okay?
It's more open to your east at this point. The trees have given way to hills.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good, driver. Why don't you pull over, find a spot? We'll make camp.
Okay, he does that, and there's, quite a bit of space here to do just that, and he pulls off to the side. And very similarly, I assume you guys will do like a prominent watch person, so not Gale, because he just did the last one. Who wants to be the sort of starred or framed spotter tonight?
I'll do it. I got 21 passive perception.
Okay, Spectre, blind check, please. Okay, yes, it is a quiet night as you guys go through your regular routines, posting a watch, all of that kind of stuff. Erasmus, are you sleeping on top again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you notice Ben kind of looks at you as you're kind of prepping to sleep, and it's like, I think I'll go sleep on the ground if that's all right.
This is a chance for you to earn a little bit of my trust, Ben. Do not do anything funny this evening.
Funny? No, of course not. He will make his way down, and you see him kind of wrestling with his backpack and pulls out not exactly a bedroll, but almost just kind of like a pillow. You see he finds a fairly decent place on the ground. He looks at anybody that's a little bit more close, and he's like, let's see, we'll pick on Kurtu. He'll look towards Kurtu, and he's like, do you mind, like, I'm just going to do a real quick spell to smooth the ground out here? Is that okay? I don't want to make your friend nervous.
Adam, would I be able to do a Arcana check or something to make sure that his spell seems appropriate?
After he casts it, you can try to identify it, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so I assume that means you say that that's fine?
I will let you because you've earned a little bit of my trust. But I'm watching you too. Please don't do anything that would cause us to lose the faith we're starting to gain in you.
He nods towards you, and you see he starts motioning with his fingers, and you don't have to even make a check on this because this is super basic. It's prestidigitation. And you notice that he motions with his hand. You see the grass kind of whoosh, just gets a little bit smoothed out, and you notice it kind of almost creates a little bit of like a cushion here. Very minor effect, and you notice he kind of steps on it and taps it with his hand. He's like, much better. He puts that little pillow down and kind of relaxes against it.
All right. Knowing that we both know the same spell, he's like,
Oh, that was wonderful. I don't blame you.
And you see he turns
That
and
was
smiles
good.
and looks towards you. Oh, yes, I saw you casting spells too. Are you a wizard?
I would say that my spells come from my dragon lord.
Oh, well, that's fascinating. We'll have to talk about that at some time. You see he looks back up to see if Rasmus is watching him.
And
Yeah,
I am. He just sees like my eyes and my horns staring over the side of the carriage at him.
What's that image of the fucking?
All right, well, yes, so it seems like this night will pass by peacefully. You guys will wake up in the morning and be ready to move on. But as we are at the end of our session time here, guys, we will pause our campaign for the moment here, and we will pick up next week and continue the travel down towards the Boriskar Bridge.
That was
Awesome.
fun.
good,
How many
folks.
reps should we be at?
Yeah, that was fun RP. And then Adam, you also said tell us something about what just happened during that kobold battle.
Yes, let me. So, is there any last minute things before I stop the recording?
Nope.
All right,
good.
good deal. Good session, everybody. We'll see everybody next week. We'll stop that now.